Have you guys been watching this? I hope you've been watching. We said, didn't we, that if things were crossing certain levels, if we fell through certain levels, that we would be falling to the floor and that we would be potentially entering a new trend. And sure enough, we did crash hard. Yes, we did. I'm going to be watching BitBoy's live thing that he's throwing out right now because it is nasty.
The best way to burn fat.
He hit 300,000 subscribers, and he's got thousands of people watching this right now. Let's watch it
what happened
too.
today? So I woke up and I looked at the charts and I said, well, I think I got up probably about on this candle right here on the 2-hour chart. I'm on the 2-hour chart.
Throw
right
that
now.
all the way back.
I'll tell you guys
so
why. There's a very specific reason I'm on the 2-hour.
Where
Lucky, they might catch that. We're in a gangster's parrot, 74,000. I don't know. Okay, I'm doing turn. Coat? Looking at Bitcoin. We're going to be looking at the crap. I'm going to teach you guys showing you how to do that later on. We got a lot of interesting stuff. Gosh, I need to zoom in a little closer.
Get us some better content, please.
Here. I don't want y'all to see my picture on the bottom there in the corner. Guys, this is exactly where I said Ethereum could drop to. But could Ethereum drop more? Yes. If you watch my Ethereum video the other day, I told you guys, we discussed everything is dependent upon Bitcoin not having a gigantic collapse. And that's what we've seen today. We're going to be looking at why this happened. First, guys, thank you for... we're higher than that. We're at 304K, aren't we? We only at 303K? I thought we were 304. We're almost at 304K. So, guys, thank you, as always, for subscribing to the channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, you want to be. This is the only channel where every single day we don't flip-flop what we think about Bitcoin. But we're going to be explaining to you guys what is happening in the charts from the technical side.
We're in trouble, guys.
Why, it seems like the fundamental side of things, the new side of things, it seems to always tend to push the price down more than it pushes it up. And I think that's what we're seeing. So we're going to definitely be looking at some of that. So, guys, I'm going to be showing you guys.
We fell through the floor.
There is my Bitcoin trading. As you guys can see, I had not been
trading.
I
marked this
I didn't trade for 9 days.
A place where we just
Bitcoin
can't fall through. And
but we are back.
Sure enough,
we are back.
fucking fell through
drew
it.
some profits. I took out about 100K out of this account, and it was like pretty nice profit. You guys see the run we've been on. We had this 0.42. I took a bad ETH trade. I lost some money. We're still up overall on our Ethereum holdings in Bybit, which I switched all those back over to Bitcoin. But we took a big hit. I want to take a breather from the market. But we're back on it today. You guys can see this morning I had a trade for 0.09, which, that's, let's just call it 0.1 approximately. So that's about $3,200 on a trade I made this morning. And so why did I make that trade? Well, we're going to have to look here at the chart. And guys, it's pretty bearish. I'm going to be honest with you guys, but I'm going to show you guys some things on Market Cypher that kind of gave me some hints on what to do in the market. Now, if you guys want to sign up for Bybit, you guys can do that. We got a new page here, guys. We got a new page. Let me show you guys the new page. If you guys didn't know, we are redoing BitBoyCrypto.com, and we've got Crypto Stash working on the rebuild for that. But we have a new deals page. Right now, the site is pretty slow, so really sorry about that. We are going to get that fixed. But if you want to sign up for Bybit, you guys can now go to BitBoyCrypto.com/deals. And we've got Bybit, Market Cypher, Crypto.com card, Token Metrics, Ledger, Binance, BlockFi. These are our main partners that we work with.
Absolutely consistently for a week.
But right now, you guys can see we have our competition. You can click here on this Bybit competition.
It's been a consistent. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. It's no ups and downs. The overall trend is negative. It's perfectly negative. It's acting perfectly negative. It's not deviating from that. It's not showing signs of hope. It's not like, oh, this is the point. For the last week, This didn't matter. This didn't matter. This run didn't matter. Nothing. None of that mattered. The only thing that matters is the fact that we have plummeted for a whole week straight. Perfectly linear plummet. Whew. I said we'd probably have a hard floor. I said we needed to stay above this relative low, whatever that was. 1230 something. I marked this area as an overall, like right here, this line. I said we needed to stay above here if we're going to keep with an overall trend. If we're going to turn this week around, and we did not turn this week around. We busted right through the floor, and now everyone's starting to use the word bearish. I've watched 3 of my favorite YouTubers
now
today.
We got 83 participants.
And they're
we
using
need
the words
17
bearish.
more to get to the next level. As you guys know, we are going to be giving away full Bitcoin. We've already said
Could
that.
be
So we
weeks
got to
of
get
this
this
shit.
number up. We have 4 days and 7 hours. We lowered the standard for you guys to get in. It's 0.01 BTC. So right now it's only $300 to get into the contest. So you guys can go to BitBoyCrypto/deals and get all the information, including if you get the warning that your IP is not supported, explain to you guys how to fix that on the site as well. We are going to be filling that page out a little bit better, giving some more information, some reviews of those products that are on there and things like that. But you guys can now go to bitboycrypto.com/deals to get everything. No more confusing URLs. So if you guys want to sign up for the competition, you guys can do that by visiting that page. But let's look at the Bitcoin chart here on this trade that I made. I'm going to show you why I did it. So
I'm going to sell a
basically,
few
the long and the short
at a
of
loss.
it. Okay.
gonna
Bitcoin
lose
was bouncing. It was around
hundreds and hundreds of
32.3.
dollars here.
And I was watching the
it's
chart.
better
I was
than
looking for an entry point. I
losing
moved a full
$600 more
Bitcoin
dollars
back
by
over
holding
Bybit
on
today
for
to get back
another
in the
2
trading game.
days, praying that we get out of it.
And you guys got to
Look at
admit
this
that
trend.
trade that I made last week, where I made half a Bitcoin in one trade almost, was pretty good. It was good
If
to
we
take a
can-
breather. I guess it was 9 days ago.
If we continue this
But now I'm
trend into
looking for
tomorrow,
more. I am looking for
we'll be in
more.
the
I'm looking to
1000s.
trade. This is some juicy action. I had to get back in on it. And when we look, I'm going to show you guys a lot of things on the Bitcoin chart. We're going to be
This
really
line
chart
means nothing
heavy
anymore.
today on Bitcoin, because it's important. You know, I mean, the technicals are very important. What caused this drop? We're going to be looking at that. But at the same time,
right here, this
now that
2
we've
lines,
got
I said
the
between
drop,
these 2
there
lines,
might not be anything that can lift us
we
up out
can't
of it
fall
in the
below
short
this
term,
area
like the next
between
day or
these 2
two.
lines.
I
That's
am
what I
going to be
said
showing
we
you guys
can't
a
do.
really
And
interesting
look at what happened.
comparison to what's
I have no
happening right
confidence
now to
anymore
what
in this
happened
right
in
now.
November,
Not at all.
at the end of November, which you're definitely going to want to check
I'm
out.
going to sell a bunch, if not all, for now.
Guys,
Before we start,
woke up today,
I
check
can't
the old
see that
portfolio.
we're
That's
in.
the first thing I do. When I wake up, first thing I do, check the
We
portfolio.
need
That's
to
how I
see-
know what's popping. You know what I mean? I know what's
we
popping when I
need to
check
see
the
some
portfolio.
better
When I
trends. We've
checked
had a
it,
week straight
wasn't looking
of
too great.
absolutely
If you guys
perfect
noticed that it
negative
seems
trend.
like
Just
in
crashing.
between about 4, 5,
hard.
6 a.m. every day the last 3 days, that is when it has been.
Sold a couple.
Let's see. What is
12,
what's that?
20.
Dumping. When it's been dumping. That's what I meant to say. Crashing. 4 a.m.
Probably sell a couple
EST
more
to London. Let's see what
in a
that
minute
is
here.
to Europe.
If it does,
9 a.m. So this is the European market every day that's dumping this. Now, you don't think it's a coincidence? We also had this story came out a little bit.
With
I'm
this
putting all this
trend line?
together right now because I didn't even know that.
the Europe, yeah. So there is some of Europe wants to fight, and this I heard this from Ivan on Tech yesterday, I believe. He said that there were some large European banking groups that want to fight off cryptocurrency, and that's not good publicity for cryptocurrency. Look at this perfectly negative trend. Don't let it trick you. Don't let it trick you. What happens? What happens if we do this and then come back down here, and then we go? Whoa! No, guys. It's been a whole week of absolute shitting in our faces, and I can't take it right now anymore. I got to get out a little bit and take a breather and let shit cool down and let people decide where we think there's value in Ethereum. This line here. If we cross this line, I'm out for a while. I'm out for a week. I'm out for 2 weeks. I don't know. I'm not gonna play this game. Look at this drop. Look at this drop. Look at it. It's as bad as the drop that we had from our all-time high to right here, which looked absolutely insane, and it's just as bad. We've lost 16% in 16 hours. People, that's insane. Losing 16%, like like even here we lost. We lost the same 16%, but it was 20 hours. So it took nearly twice as long to get there, but we've made the same amount of losses in half the time. Whew. If we want and we think, okay, oh, it's going to bounce back up and recover before it falls again, we might have a 12% recovery. I mean, shoot, we might have, if we did the same exact thing, we might go back up here. If we did the same thing we did here. What was it, by the way? What was this? 12.4 over 12 hours. If we tried to recover the same way, 12.4 over, oh shit, how many did I say it was? 12 hours? Is that the same? Yeah, okay. If we did the same recovery, what? Why didn't it draw the line? God damn it! I swear to God. 12.4 in 12 hours. Thank you. Yeah. Push the fucking brush. Yes, thank you. Start here to here. Okay, if we did the same thing we did there, we could get this kind of recovery today. I don't care because this is what happens next. Shark fin tuna. I don't want to deal with that shit. I really don't.
Yeah, the Martini guy stuff, the UK stuff. You guys remember my Martini guy interview? He was talking about how the UK was going very... It seems like there's an organized flood attack coming from investment funds and institutional players who try to buy lower, and also from governments right now. We're seeing a lot of that from the government. Yeah, that's a good point TJ just made. He said, who you think it affects governments, lobbyists, investment funds, big money. So here is a story that came out just the other day. Commission and ECB joined forces on digital euro. So the digital euro news comes out, and then as soon as that comes out, the price starts dumping from, guess what? It looks like the European markets, because most people over here are not trading at 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so I woke up and just kind of giving you guys a play-by-play on what happened.
If this continues to just go down, and if we look at how far it went down in like 2017, and we look at the potential of how far it can go down now, if you got out now at a loss and bought back in when it actually hits rock bottom, if we go into a bear market and we like spend the next 2 weeks going down, if we spend the next 2 weeks losing all the gains we made over the course of a month, you would be better off selling now at a loss, buying back in 2 weeks when we're at the bottom of a 2-week bear cycle, and then riding that wave all the way back up and past. If you believe this is going to go up over 1,500, 2,000, 2,500, 3,000 in the next month and a half, like most people do, this could be a short-term bear cycle. Maybe it's a long-term bear cycle, but either way, if it transitions that way, we'll have been better off selling now at a small loss and buying back in when we have finished bearing out, which is what we're doing. We've been doing it for a week. We've been bearing out for a week straight. There's no doubt about that. It's absolutely perfectly linear. God damn it. You got a little bounce back here, bounce back, but every time is a new low. And I drew this out. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, but this kind of trend of new low highs, that's terrible trend. Terrible trend. This is perfectly downwards for a week. There's no hope for it. Every time I gave it a chance, I said, look, we got to break up here. Nope, failed. I said, look, we got to break up here. Nope, failed. I marked these out long before it happened, and I said, if we're bullish or bearish, it will be decided in these time frames. And each time we decided to be bearish, we decided to be bearish, we decided to be bearish. Every time we had an opportunity, we decided to be bearish. I've been getting burned for a week straight. I mean, I'm playing the ups and downs, and that's okay, but whew.
Today, so I woke up and I looked at the charts and I said, well, I think I got up probably about on this candle right here on the 2-hour chart. I'm on the 2-hour chart right now. I'll tell you guys why. There's a very specific reason I'm on the 2-hour chart. But basically what happened is I woke up on this candle. We had already had a body close underneath the line. We bounced off of it yesterday, pretty perfect. Looked like we were on the way back up.
I love his software. I want to use his software.
Clearly on a downtrend. There's really no way to draw a line here to make this positive. And that's what I was really struggling with today. There's no real super bullish short-term narrative right now for the price. It is very likely now, I do believe, and this bears out sometimes, no pun intended, that it looks like we will be dipping further. Now, where is that line? We're going to look at some possibilities here in a second. We're going to look at some crazy FUD numbers to the downside I don't think we'll see. Okay, but watch this. Turn the mic off for my sniffle. Okay, still battling the cold a little bit. Not sure if you guys can tell.
If we cross here,
and it is
I'll
not
be all out for a minute. I think if we cross back below here,
people still get those.
This cross right here,
even though
if we continue this trend,
0 people have the flu this year.
And cross below this line,
they still do happen. So anyways, guys, we have this long-term
I'm just going to assume we've entered
been
into a
going
full-on bear cycle for the next week. I'll be out. I'm not going to play that game anymore.
And now you guys can see
I've drawn this overall positive trend, which shows the overall bullish mood I think we're in.
When was the last time we had a really
This is just part of the game, and this is just part of the game, and so on. But if we cross below this, that means our overall trend and feeling coins
somewhere
has
around
begun
about right
to
here. I think I messed
flip.
the line up. Let me just control.
We're no longer increasing.
Okay, so
our
basically we've had this
begin
line
to
that went
decrease
back
our interest,
from
which is
October.
important.
Yeah, it's about the same amount of time actually. It's about a month and a half. The last time we had a support line that lasted this long. Now we did have, and this is key, guys. I want you guys to see this, okay? When you guys see the support line going back in October, and you guys can see how far it extends, we got 2 specific times, and that was when it got cut out, basically when this trend kind of started, okay? But let me close this so we got more chart to work with here. Yeah, I'm going to tell you guys why I'm using the 2-hour here in just a second. But before we get there, I want to talk about the only possible bullish short-term scenario we could be looking at. Yeah, okay. We could be looking at here, okay? So when we go back, we see the last long-term trend line. You guys see, like, it's a very clear line of support there. I mean, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4.
The
body bounced off there, 5, 6, 7. Then once it went through that dip, 8, 9, then that's where it kind of ended. It's got 9 touches on this line. So, like, and this is on the 2-hour chart. I could really move this back to another chart, but we'll just look at this one for now because I said I was using a 2-hour. Now, you notice here on this chart is a very distinct line, but even within this, we have 2 spots where this thing, I hate this thing. 2 spots where we went definitely under the line, okay?
Yeah.
This one back here, I don't really remember what was happening in the beginning of November, and it was not a very strong dip under the support line right there. But what I really want to focus on is right here. This was the drop in November, okay? The end of November, remember we told you guys November was going to be a super bullish month following the election. It went up, 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 up. And then all of a sudden I told you guys at the end of November we could be expecting a large dip based on the historical Bitcoin charts. Right now, we have got, or in the end of November, we got that dip. And look how far underneath the line it went. You guys can see this thing dipped very solidly below the line. But what happened? What happened? Well, after that, it had this here, okay? And as you guys can see on Market Cypher, you guys can see where we had one green dot that was kind of a false green dot. I mean, it did certainly go up. I mean, when you look at how much it went up after that green dot from the bottom of this wick, I mean, it definitely went up. It looks like about 10%, so that's pretty good, okay? But when you look at the drop there from the top, I mean, I know it was 17%. I sounded like WAP again. Whenever I say drop from the top, sound like I'm
17%
17.5% dip right there.
A huge
okay?
dip, and tends to
After
be
that
where
17.5% dip, it quickly
people
recovered
start to rally.
pretty much to the same level.
It's a huge
okay?
fall, but
Went
that's like
sideways for
this
about
is 17%.
15 days, and then we finally got the
There
move
was
up.
multiple 17%
So the
drops
question
that I
is,
measured.
Are we going to get the same thing on this line right
From
here?
here to
And
here?
if you look at the dip, it's pretty interesting here when you look at this recent dip. Look where it's at. 18%. It's basically the same. 17.5%. The difference would be, obviously, at that time, we were clearly in an uptrend. Now, this is a little longer term of a short trend. Or of a downtrend. So when you look at the overall...
So I said, last week has
fall
been
here
absolute shit. Perfect shit.
When you look at the...
If you look at it, it's perfect shit.
Right now is one of those moments. I hate trading view. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Okay, so when you look at the overall drop right now, we're still seeing it 27%, the same thing we were looking at the other day. If this thing falls further than 30,345, you bet your bottom dollar we are going, bet your bottom Satoshi, excuse me, that we will be going down probably much further. Now, let me show you guys what I did this morning on this trade, how I took advantage of this, okay? I started on the 1 hour chart, okay? Now, and we just got another green dot on the 1 hour chart here, okay? So basically, we got on market side.
We have a top side. We have a hard ceiling going downwards.
Pretty firmly in the red, which is something very interesting when we look at the Ethereum chart later on. Keep that in mind. Bitcoin clearly in the red for the money flow. You guys can see.
This might be our
a lot
hard
of these
top.
1-hour
1260 is a new
have
hard
been
top.
getting
Jesus
negated
H.
by
Christ.
the yellow X's, meaning whale manipulation. Okay, so what I did, and this is where I'm going to talk about what I'm doing right now. Okay, is that I longed this green dot right here. I longed it at the bottom of this wick. It went up, and I'm going to show you guys a little trading strategy a little bit later on in the video how I took advantage of this to make sure I locked the profits in. But then the price started dropping, so I locked some profits in. I won the trade.
You see, guys,
and then right after that, this yellow dot popped up. What we're seeing is
what we've been
1 hour
hearing
chart.
about
This
for a
moves into
month.
What I'm looking at on the 2
all
hour
the
chart.
chatter,
On the 1
all
hour
the
chart,
chatter
we are seeing
on
high level of
all the YouTube people, and I follow all of them. I follow them, and you should too. And what I do is I watch 5 to 10 different professional coin trader YouTubers videos each day, and they have been bullish for a month straight. There's no doubt. They've all been, don't worry about it, we're good. Don't worry about it, we're good. Oh, this dip, that's great. Buy it up. Buy. Starting yesterday and up until and including today, they're all starting to say, I'm pulling out. We should start to grab up some of our profits. We're starting to see bearish moves. We're starting to see them fall below expectations. And so the mood has shifted, and mood is important. And we keep saying, like, the hype is important for coin value. So for a month straight, it was sky's the limit. That was the mood. And that's the way it moved. Since yesterday, basically, so the mood is changing. This morning and today, I'm just hearing really negative moves. I'm not hearing anybody say, this is what you want to hear, and this is what nobody's saying. Oh, this is a great time to buy. We're expecting this to be the new bottom and to skyrocket past our all-time highs in the next few days. Nobody's saying that. You go watch 15 YouTube videos. Nobody's saying right now we're just on a little dip and we're going to be up over all-time highs in the next week. Nobody's saying that. And so if that's the case, I think this is what we're continuing to look at. So it's better to take a loss of 100 or 200 bucks now than to take a loss of $600 if you wait. You might have this, and if you sold here and this happens, that's probable. This is like, if you sell here, we could see a little upturn, but overall trend is very predictable. It's just, if you want to try to play this up and down game, you can. If you're a day trader, you might buy here and sell here and buy here and sell here and buy here and sell here and play that game all the way, where you're trying to claim these ups all the way down. They do that. Day traders do that. If you're not a day trader and you want to just let your money sit for the next 3 days, that looks scary to me as a plan. Yeah, I think you could lose $200 more a share if you did that. Why is it dropping in crypto? Crypto prices, well, first of all, yesterday in the news, and I didn't say anything about it, and I heard about it, and I just kind of blew it off a little bit, but there was a big uproar with some European banking unions and these banking leaderships and this and that, and they basically, a couple of the leaders declared war on currency.
Even our green dots on Market Cipher, even though I did make one winning trade with it, which I would have got stopped out, luckily it did go up before it went back down. The yellow X pressure,
we should have put more value
back
on
down.
That, because
right now
this is when it was announced.
1 hour dots are negated to me.
European banking unions said they're going to
I am strictly looking
start a war against
at the
cryptocurrency,
2 hour
and
next,
this is what's happened.
And then I'm waiting for a 4 hour green dot. Once this 4 hour green dot comes in, that is when I'm piling in along. I am piling in that thing. I am going to keep a pretty good stop loss, not necessarily super tight, but a pretty good one. And the reason would be is because, if we go back to the last time we had two green dots kind of close together on the chart, you guys can see the first one didn't really get a lot of steam. The second one did. I'm making sure that I don't take such a big loss that I can't pile in if the second one pops up. That's what we do see with Market Cipher sometimes. We will see the green dot.
I like Market Cipher.
Go long on the bottom. And I want to draw a distinction
that
here on Market Cipher between these green dots right here and these green dots right here. Now, this is a proprietary indicator, so I can tell you exactly what goes into it. All I can tell you is it works, okay? And this is how I'm knowing where these moves are coming at. The ones on this chart right on the actually on the momentum waves here, okay, they're not nearly as solid. You guys can see they kind of pop up everywhere. Those are not major moves. You want these down at the bottom because these indicate major moves. And whenever you look, I need to look at what this I can't remember exactly what the numbers on this chart symbolize, okay? But if you look, this white line is at the top, or is it the bottom right here, the white line I'm hovering on right here, and the top. Whenever Bitcoin gets well above or well below these white lines, that means it is really setting up for a big, nice, juicy trade. Whenever it closes, like you can see from right here on this candle on the 4 hour here on the last 4 hour chart, it officially closed down below this white line. That means that a big pop is going to come from this momentum wave on the downside. A big pop to the upside. So what I'm doing now, if you go back and look at all these green dots every time.
To see Dr. Gordon at 2:50. I'm
I
bringing
need
the
a
baby.
tutorial on how to
Leave
use
it with
3DView. I need the shortcuts. Are there shortcuts on trading?
Excuse me,
Like,
Logan,
how do I
you're-
shortcut back to the symbol, back to the crosshairs from the paint? Because I hate having to go up there and click it. But anyways, every time you look, you always get the big green dots when you have these momentum waves that are big to the downside. And when you have these like right here, they call this an anchor wave. Okay, whenever you get a big one and then you get a smaller one and they both have green dots, this right here is where you want to be going and piling in big time, because almost every single time you have that on a chart. And in a bear market, it's just the opposite. In the bear market, you guys can look right here and see kind of some bear momentum here. You had a red dot here, red dot here. You had this momentum wave to the downside. And then you got this move that resulted in this drop down below the support. But we don't really want to focus too much on the bear lines right now because, listen, guys, and I'm going to tell you this. Do I believe Bitcoin is going down further from where we're at right now? Yeah, I do. Why do I believe that? Because we haven't got the end of the momentum wave yet. When we get the end of this wave and we get the green dot on the 2 hour, next I'm going to be looking for it on the 4 hour. So I'm going to put a trade in when I get a green dot here on the 2 hour. I already did the 1 hour. I made some money. Now I'm waiting for the longer confirmations that we're at the bottom. Now, could we possibly be at the bottom right now? Yes, we could. 31,000 could have been the bottom, okay? But we don't have the confirmation. We don't have the confirmation of that yet. I'm waiting for this confirmation to tell me exactly what I want to do. And once I get this, I'm going up. So sometimes the confirmation comes at a higher price point, but it's more sure. You want to be more sure about your trades, okay? You don't want to be guessing, and that's the problem I see with a lot of people out there. You guys are just guessing based on the feeling and emotion that comes with watching these numbers go up and down. Because I do it. I watch the numbers. My trade this morning, I would have made $10,000 on that trade. And I'm going to show you how I locked in those profits a little bit later in the video. But I ended up only making about $3,500. You know, I locked that in, and that's a good and that's a win. But that number gets to 10,000 in my brain. I'm saying, oh, here we go. It's going all the way back up. It's correcting. It's, you know, I'm going to make $50,000 on this trade, which I have done before. But it plays with your mind. And when you're shorting in a bear market, it does the opposite. You're like, oh, yeah, I know this thing's going to go all the way back down to $5,000. Like in your mind, because you're imagining the gains, you're imagining the money, and you got to separate all that stuff out. You have to have a plan for where you want to enter, where you want to exit, and you also want to plan for how you're going to lock the profits in. So that's what I'm looking at right now. That's why I am looking at the 2 hour chart, because chances are we are going to get a green dot on the 2 hour chart before we're going to get it on the 4 hour chart. And this is kind of my sign if the 2 hour green dot gets negated. And guys, look how long it's been. If you look at where we're at right now, the downward momentum is really interesting, because the downward momentum of this momentum wave, if you look at it right there, you compare it to the crash from 42K that we had not last Sunday, but the Sunday before that. The NFL playoffs, ever since them started, this thing's going to be going down. Keep that in mind. But the point is when you look, this downward momentum wave is shaping up to be bigger than the crash. And that's, to me, because if you look at where it is, this is at a negative 74.5. This was at a negative 70.7. It just measures momentum. We're already...
The momentum is downwards. As BitBoy is saying, the momentum is still downwards. If you bought in somewhere here, don't expect to get your money back in the next few days. In fact, if you want to, and it's up to you, and you expect us to continue to trend downwards, if you're not somebody who takes advantage of this kind of activity, BitBoy and professional traders and this and the other thing, they are watching this. They're buying here, selling here, buying here, selling here, and they're making profit all the way down. And they'll make a profit. And if this is worth nothing in a month, if we lose a month's worth of bull market and go down to $600 in the next couple of weeks, they'll make money all the way down. But if you're not going to be doing that and playing that game, then what are you waiting for, right? Nobody is saying that this is going to happen. Nobody is saying that. And the feeling that all the people and what everyone is saying is kind of what affects coin values in the first place. Is it hyped up? Are we all bullish? Are we all excited? Are we all buying? Those things drive prices up. This feeling is a bearish feeling. Me personally, I sold all but a little bit at a loss here. But in any case, this is a very, very straight, like, this is not acting unpredictably at this point. It had two solid chances to recover and bounce up, and it took both chances to just fuck us bad. Here, by the way, I drew these long before they happened, and I said, this is their opportunity in this window. From here to here is a window that if we cross below a certain point, and I drew it out, we're going bearish. And then I said, I drew this window before it happened. I said, between here and here, we got to bounce back or we're going bearish. And we fucked it up again. People, we're bearish. We're bearish. And now that we look at the trend, it's just perfectly downwards in this direction. And I watched a number of YouTubers today, and starting yesterday, the overall feeling and trend that everyone's starting to feel is bearish. And so I can't see how that flips in the next 2 days. Nobody's saying like, oh yeah, in the next 2 days it's gonna like this is what you wish would happen. I'm not saying it's impossible, but if there was that many people interested in buying Ethereum right now, this wouldn't be happening. This wouldn't be happening if there were that many people interested in buying Ethereum right now. It wouldn't be happening. If we were bullish and we were buying Ethereum, we wouldn't be seeing this in the first place.
5% lower, or
I wanted to buy that market cipher that he uses, and it costs thousands of dollars.
We were that low. Guess when it was? Right in November, after we had, or early December, right after that November.
Look
crash.
at this, guys.
That
even if we crash, and these aren't huge crashes, these are nothing in comparison to this kind of thing, or this thing we're expecting now. This is not as much, but these kinds of crashes, they didn't happen and then recover the same day or even the next day, guys. This is like you could buy in here, and then 2 weeks, a week, 2 weeks later, we are back up over what you bought in at. And that can very well happen. If you bought in here, you could be in profit, like, okay, now we're bullish again. Maybe in a few days we're bullish again and we start to go up here. This is possible. I don't think this is possible. I think this is possible. We'll have to get closer to this to find out. And you'll be back in your money again, and that's very, very possible. But over the next couple of days, this is the way we're going. And if you're somebody who wants to sell here to lose $100 per share, and then buy in here, and then you're making $400 a share, like you could take a $100 or $200 a share loss here if you're intending to buy here and ride this bull back up. If this happens. If this doesn't happen and it just keeps going down, you're better off having sold here either way. So that's why I would rather take a short-term loss with plans. On how to reap that back. What does this look like on my screen? I can't see it with the shit. Alrighty.
Minimum wave. God, that was so perfect to get in right there, man. You would have made so much money if you got in on that green dot. I mean, the price was sitting at $18,000. I mean, my gosh. And that's really one thing I'm doing is I'm looking at these longer term trades also. I mean, I'm trying to get in a good spot, but I'm also constantly moving
Andrea,
stop losses.
In the long term, most people are still feeling like Ethereum will break all-time highs again at some time in the next month. But right now, our current feeling that everybody's having is looking
We're going to keep an eye on
bearish.
that during the stream. If it pops up, you can set an alert.
It's terrible.
So what I can do here is
good.
I can go into Trading View.
I would be excited to buy at some point if I could.
Tutorials on this. There's so much to this. I think I'm going to. Maybe we should do Trading Tutorial Thursday.
Look at this.
Do
Damn.
you like that, TJ?
Look at
Trading Tutorial Thursday. We might go.
Damn.
Because like on a lot of channels, I feel like they're not really
16%.
giving you guys like
16%
how are
drop
they determining these
in
numbers
16
other than
hours.
just
That's no joke.
And when it comes to the indicators,
joke.
I mean, I'm taking advantage of knowledge that other people have that
You
are
bought
much
at
smarter than me.
1940.
And I'm just moving based on guys. What's the best way to get rich? Do what rich people do. So
Are you talking
that's
about
a big strategy I have?
19,000 for Bitcoin?
You guys can set a.
You're talking about 19,000 something for Bitcoin? We're looking at
alert
Ethereum
here
chart, by
on
the way.
Trading View. Okay.
And Ethereum charts
we
and
want to
Bitcoin charts
right. I want
look
to go
very
to market
similar,
cipher
actually.
B
But
because
we're
that's the
looking at
bottom
Ethereum.
here. We want it once per bar, and then we want it to be.
This is what I would do. If I bought in at 19,000,
there it is, green dot.
I would
and then it's
pull out
show a pop-up,
19,000 right now.
And I'll even have it send me an email.
I would let
okay,
that profit.
possible
That's like
long
realizing
on
your
the
profits.
2-hour chart. So
if you pull out your buy-in, and now your new baseline play money is the profit you made, you can't lose. You can't lose no matter what happens. You can be all in with your profits all day, and no matter what happens, you'll be in profit because you've already pulled out your original investment. If you already pulled out your original investment, you'll always be in profits. It's a good feeling because who cares, you know? If you had 35,000, you would be $16,000 up on 19 and doubling your money in the course of a month. And if it went down to 27, you'd still be up $8,000 in a month, which is awesome. It's fucking insane.
Once this happens, it's going to send me an email and it's going to pop up a pop-up with a little alert that tells me to come back here and do this. So, guys, I know we've been looking at this chart like pretty heavy right now. Why? Yeah. Guys, let's go ahead and hit the likes. If you guys like free content and you guys like to know what I'm doing and you guys like to know how to make money in crypto, but smash the like button, guys. We need more people to see this because there's a lot of people out there on YouTube today.
It's great.
And look, once again, I love these people.
I follow
have different strategies for how
5
we
to 10
talk about crypto. There's a lot of people out there that they like
professional
to take
coin
advantage
trading
of
YouTubers.
the negativity.
And if
they
you
like
want
to
to
take advantage
know
of the
what the market
going down
is
because
doing
it
and
generates
moves that are
clicks.
being
I mean, yeah,
made,
we
you
have
should
some
follow
thumbnails.
as many as
When you watch this
possible.
channel,
Watch
we're
as
still
many
telling you,
videos
I'm going to tell
as
you at the
possible,
end why still
and
I'm
then
bullish
you'll
right
get a
now.
feeling
And really
for
give
what
you the
everyone's
perspective
talking
on the
about.
way that you
Everybody
have
was
to
talking
think
about
things in this
Polkadot and
market.
Cardano
Because
2 weeks
this
ago.
market is
If you had gotten in on that
psychological, it plays
action,
with
you
your
would
head,
have
and you have
you
to
would have
learn
seen
how to
moonish
make
returns and things, you
objective,
know.
unbiased moves, and that is what we are really looking to do. So we'll keep an eye on that. If we do get a green dot on this alert, we will trade. So let's talk about the organized FUD here, and what is the source of all of this? BlackRock. If you don't know BlackRock, it is. We're gonna have to hold a joke back here. If you don't know BlackRock,
This was supposed to
this
be a
is the
positive
largest
thing.
investment fund, the largest hedge fund in the entire world. Is that correct, TJ? I believe it is. I believe
This
it's
was
the
supposed to be a
it says right here.
positive.
It says right
I
here.
don't understand why this didn't
Gosh,
cause
TJ, I
it
don't
to
even
go
read
up.
the
I heard about
titles.
this. I
World's
thought
largest asset
this would
manager.
have a positive outcome,
I just know about a lot of. I know BlackRock. I said it without even reading
but
this.
it
okay?
didn't.
Without reading this title here. The world's largest asset manager has said 2 of its funds can now invest in cryptocurrency. Huh. That's weird, isn't it? When did this come out? 10:30 a.m. 10:30 a.m. That's an hour ago? That doesn't sound right. This article, how did you send this to me after? Anyways, it says a.m., so that might be somewhere else. Where is this? Business Insider. It could be Europe. Maybe this is Europe. The long and short of it is, this was announced yesterday, though. I saw this article yesterday, maybe from another source.
I'm actually
BlackRock.
working on my laptop,
World's
my other
largest-
laptop, while I'm trying
Guys,
to
this is where
listen
you
to
have
this,
to use your brain.
watch the
Like,
market, but I'm
literally
also
use your
just trying
brain.
to work,
The
actually.
world's largest asset manager. 2 of its funds can now invest in cryptocurrency. Now I'll tell you this. That's old news. BlackRock done been investing in cryptocurrency. Okay? But when you start seeing this news here and the market's dropping, do you think, guys, brain, okay? Do you guys think that BlackRock would encourage their funds to invest in cryptocurrency at the peak of the market? At the peak. If some people believe this is the peak of the market, 42K was the peak. I hear people saying it. Do you think that's where they would tell their funds to invest in? No. Really what's happening is we now have the world's largest asset fund probably taking part in organized
Well, that's a
fund
great question.
whale manipulation to push the price down. Well, I know so many people that bought in between 28 and 32K.
Hold on a second.
Okay? They are the weak retail hands. And I'm nervous for people that I know. Why? Am I nervous for people I know?
I think we're gonna. That's why I kind of drew this
Am
here.
I nervous because they're going to lose money in cryptocurrency? No,
I think 1,000 will be a hard bottom.
I'm nervous.
I think we
that
could
they're
fuck
going
around
to
over
sell
2
out,
days
try
or
to get a
3
lower
days,
price,
or
and then
4
we get
days,
that balance,
probably
and they
max
miss
4
out,
days.
and they lose money.
Just continue to plummet down
because
4 days.
they
This
did
could
something
be,
dumb.
and this would be bad.
Not
This would be one of the
because
worst case
the
scenarios.
price
Anything
of
worse than
cryptocurrency
this,
is
and
going
could
to
be
go down
a full-on
to
bear cycle
23K
for
or something,
months to
20K.
come. I would
Some
be
people say
completely all out.
5K.
But I think we would hit a
So anyway,
hard
the point here is,
stop
how
somewhere
does this
in the
happen?
900
you got world's
to
largest asset
1050
funds.
range.
How are they funding this price? Look at this story, guy. I don't have words for this. To me, BitMEX is the slimiest and shadiest of all companies in crypto. I would say after this, I would elevate BitMEX to the #1 enemy of cryptocurrency over Craig Wright. I think they've now taken the #1 ranking. Okay? Yeah, we didn't even include Craig. Craig
I
Wright's
don't know
back.
why I'm drawing
Craig
that.
Wright,
That just looks ugly and terrible.
Craig Wright is back. We have not seen Craig Wright in a year, I think. I haven't seen anything from him in a year. He's back. So we might talk about that. I don't like to give him a lot of press because that's what he's after. But anyways. So we got this from BitMEX Research, guys. I just can't with these people. I really can't with these people. I can't with them, okay? This was from yesterday. There was a stale Bitcoin, which, by the way, you know my favorite kind of marshmallow? Stale marshmallows. They're really good. Take the little mini ones, leave them out in a bowl overnight. They taste fantastic, just like cereal marshmallows. There's a little hint for you guys. Love stale marshmallows.
Yeah, Pop Smoke.
Stale Bitcoin,
Yeah,
don't
960,
really like
probably.
a stale
I
Bitcoin
wouldn't
block
doubt it.
today.
I'll put it at
Well,
950.
just keep in mind, this is BitMEX Research. This is supposed to be
I would
the
say probably
smartest
950.
researchers
Somewhere
in derivatives that are
900 to
there, and these
950.
people are so dumb. But see, that's the thing is they're not dumb. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
I don't.
This
I
is intentional.
nobody is talking excited. Nobody's
Intentional.
talking
Because when someone
bullish.
thinks that
Nobody's
Bitcoin is
talking
broken,
about how.
they gonna sell it.
Oh
okay?
yeah, we're turning things around.
No,
Oh
wait a
yeah,
minute. Look
like
back
it's
here.
been a week, a
Trend.
perfect
Look at my-
week
look at my chart
of
there.
negative.
But BitMEX said there was a
declines.
stale Bitcoin
This
block
is
tonight at height
This is
600.
like a really nice, like
666,000?
nice trend line of badness.
Can you say Satan? Can you say Moloch?
All right, Bitcoin.
So what
Get
ever
out.
happened? And that's what basically the long and the short of what occurred here is that on the BitMEX platform,
I like
something
to
occurred.
watch,
They saw this as an opportunity to FUD Bitcoin. Probably
I'm not saying we can't recover from this and go to
cooperation
new
with
all-time
BlackRock.
highs
Probably, I
next
bet
week.
BlackRock's involved
I
in
think
this,
that's
but
very
there's a lot
possible.
of
That's why I
people
drew
that are
this
involved in
line.
this. And they basically made it appear on Twitter
starting
like
on the
Bitcoin was
25th,
broken
I
and there was a double
guess,
spin
if
attack.
we
which
decide
is
to hit this
the-
hard.
If, you didn't know,
If
the
we
safety
hit
and
this
security of Bitcoin comes
sedimentary,
with the size of
not
its
sedimentary
network,
rock,
okay?
whatever
And the
strong
size of
rock
the
is. If we
Bitcoin
hit some
network
strong
is
goddamn
what
rock
gives it
here,
power over all other cryptocurrencies.
if we hit this and we break through it, I'm all the way the fuck out on Ethereum for, I don't know, weeks until we see something that's so obviously bullish that it's like you just can't ignore it. Then okay, this is possible. I think this is the most likely scenario, is that we just continue to have this shitty downward trend at least for a couple of days until something changes. Something has to change. The mood is, this is the mood. This is the trend. This is the way we are all feeling about Ethereum and Bitcoin right now. There's no doubt it's a strong trend. We may have some ups here and here and here, but like this is the trend. Boom, 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 boom. It's just getting worse, and I think we'll hit a hard rock bottom here. I don't think people are going to be willing to sell Ethereum for less than 900, 950, 10, somewhere between 950 and 1050. Yeah, Coinbase does charge fees, man. Look, Kane, I'm gonna hook you up with my Robinhood code, and you don't have to use it if you don't want. But I can tell you this: I like Robinhood. It's without fees. They don't pay me to say that, but I use them. And if you do use this code, then we can both get a really shitty stock that's not worth anything. No, I would say probably not dump right now because we're due for at least a small break in this dip. Okay, this is a 16% drop. We're due for some recovery. This is probably a good time to buy in the short term because any like a larger than a 16% drop over the course of this amount of time is without any kind of recovery is very unusual. Very unusual. That's why I drew this like this. So if you go to sell here and then this happens, you're gonna be like, what the hell? And I'll be like, well, I did draw this fucking thing for a reason. Yeah, but overall, I don't see us having a positive trend. Like, it's just not happening. It's not happening.
That's why Bitcoin is so much safer, because it would take so much hash rate, so
Pop
much
Smoke,
money,
you don't need to grow your
so much
portfolio. You're about ready to
cooperation
retire.
to take over the Bitcoin network.
Dude,
it's
with the kind of money you got
think
in
about
your
it,
portfolio,
That's really where
half
the
the
safety and
people
security of Bitcoin
watching right now
comes
could
in.
be
That's why
retiring.
even though Ethereum is faster, even though Dash is faster, even
You
though
don't have
Nano
to
is
live
faster,
a luxurious
all
lifestyle
these
to
coins are faster,
retire
which, by the way, we will be
that kind of
taking
money.
a look tonight. Top 10 coins of 2021 so far that are crushing Bitcoin, and the smart money is putting money in. So you guys come back for that tonight. But that's why you have cryptocurrencies
Come
that
to
are
think of it,
technologically
I don't think
much better
anybody's
than
used my
Bitcoin,
Robinhood link
but
that I
they
keep
can't
posting
gain
in the
out,
chat.
they can't gain ground on
Because I'm
becoming
not
a
getting
top
any free
cryptocurrency.
stocks from them.
It's because
What's going
Bitcoin
on,
stays
people?
on top
Use
of
that
the
link.
size of the
Give me
network.
some. Give me a
This is
free
nearly
Ford
impossible.
stock or
I
some
won't say absolutely
stupid
impossible, but it
shit.
is nearly impossible for this to ever occur on the Bitcoin network. If this did occur, in fact, if there was a double spend, it would destroy Bitcoin, and it would really open up opportunities for other cryptocurrencies to move past Bitcoin for sure. Yeah, the incentive. Why would you say that? Yeah. Well, yeah, but TJ's saying there's not really incentive to crash the Bitcoin price, and from a money price perspective, I would say he's correct. You would have to spend billions of dollars to do it, but I would say that China wouldn't care about that. China would do it to crush it, because if Bitcoin start competing with them and they think the digital yuan is going to become the reserve currency, they might. I'm just saying that's a hypothetical, crazy scenario. The point
That's
is,
fucking
it didn't
hilarious.
happen. The
They
incentive
would
to
do that.
crash the
China
Bitcoin
would
price
do
into a
that.
hack would not be financial. It would be war. That would be the only reason anyone would ever, really try to pull off attacking Bitcoin. It would be war. It would be a declaration of war. It would not be financial, which, if you look at all the hacks throughout history and cryptocurrency, they're pretty much all financially motivated. So, yeah. TJ's saying they could hack an atomic bomb. They could hack an atomic bomb code. Everything that existed. I don't know. I mean, I'd have to look more into that.
Let's get away from. Let's get away from
I would say
talking about
there would be
crazy
no
shit,
financial
please.
motivation for this to ever occur. This, what actually happened, and you got these people, which I'll tell you one thing. Cointelegraph and
What's the
CoinDesk.
Hellcat? The car? The
I got
Dodge?
some inside information, guys. I
What are you
can't
gonna
say
do?
it.
Get
I
yourself
can't say
killed?
it. But I got some information, and I'm just telling you, I don't trust a thing coming out of Cointelegraph or CoinDesk. Take it with a grain of salt. Take everything that goes on those platforms with a grain of salt. Of course, some of these things are current events that are factual, and so we're going to talk about these, things coming from these sites.
Bitcoin
But I'm
double
telling you, I don't trust these
spend.
people as far as I
That's
can throw
interesting.
them. And I don't know if you've seen me throw somebody. I can throw somebody pretty dang far.
The basis
Okay.
of this whole thing is
They are getting right up there with the rest of the mainstream media, the clickbait media, with YouTube. Hey guys, that's what we got to do.
False
They're doing the same
transactions.
thing. Mainstream media is doing the same thing. They're living and
If
dying on clickbait. And
a false
this
transaction is
Bitcoin
able to
double
happen,
spend
then
spotted in the wild.
ideal
Bitcoin
of
or BitMEX
Bitcoin
research has
blockchain
identified
stuff
what it
is
believes to be a
violated,
double spend
which
Bitcoin
would be tough.
transaction.
That'd be bad.
Ah,
I would say
where's
that's
the
not
chicken
so
little
bad
clip?
though. If we've had
So crazy.
billions of
This
trades
did not occur. This was an
through the
internal
Bitcoin
error.
network, and we've
On
detected
the BitMEX
one
platform
double
that allowed
spend.
the same $21 not
Is that
on
a
the
good
Bitcoin
rate?
blockchain to
Sounds
be
like
spent
a good
twice.
rate to me. I don't know.
And it had to do basically with and here's the best part, guys. Here's the best part.
I burped
You
while trying to
really
drink
start
water,
getting
and I was
into
just
this.
fucked up.
Let's see. Bitcoin. Andres Antonopoulos tweet or replied here. He said, It means Bitcoin is operating exactly as it should. A single block reorganization is not uncommon. That is what happened. A single block reorganized. There were two miners competing over the transaction, and one won, but they were very close. And basically what happened is it got reorganized. There is, let's see, let me go back here. This is on the thread. They do actually say, where is it that they say it?
If we violate here,
Who owns Coinbase?
if we violate here,
Digital Currency Group owns Coinbase and Grayscale. You just found that out? It's pretty interesting.
I will be
Coindesk?
even more
Or you said Coinbase.
bearish.
Coindesk. Grayscale owns Coindesk. Oh, gosh. Oh, guys, it's deep out here. It is really, really, really deep out here. That's what I'm going to tell you. I'm finding out a lot of stuff. Further I get to the inside of what's really happening, I mean, there's a lot of crazy stuff. But the point is, Bitcoin, Ethereum, we know these are great assets and a lot of money.
All right, here we are.
Really what all this means when we're talking about organized campaigns is these are organized campaigns to push the price down so people can still invest and make more money. And we know that's what institutions tend to do. But we're still in a bull market. So remember that. We are still in a bull market. So back to this, though, guys. This is what's so funny is when you really research this and you see... For anyone interested, here are the details we have for the transaction in question. Oh my gosh. Then you come down here at the bottom. On closer inspection, this is likely to be an instance of RBF where the lower fee transaction won. Oh, you mean exactly the way Bitcoin works always on the blockchain? Yeah. So, of course, this tweet, I want you guys to look at the difference in these tweets here, okay? This tweet, the Bitcoin research, 502 likes, 208 retweets, 211 quote tweets. Now let's go back to the one where they said that nothing basically happened. 55 likes, 8 comments, 34 retweets. I'm gonna retweet it right now, just so people know. You guys go to my Twitter. Make sure you guys are following us on Twitter. We are bitboy_crypto. We are at almost 62,000 followers. Picked up almost 2,000 yesterday. Absolutely.
Nice.
You get these great memes. Look at that. Wow. Mr. Bean. Wow, TJ. What's up with this meme? You know I love Mr. Bean. I hate Mr. Bean. I would knock him off Arnold so quick it's not even funny. Mr. Bean is probably my arch enemy in the world.
No.
My last one didn't fare so well. This one, I tell you what. Okay, guys. So where is Bitcoin bottoming at? That's what a lot of people want to know. Where is the bottom of BTC? Well, we got some crazy numbers for you. Now, keep this in mind. This is the same guy, Scott Minerd. Scott Minerd. What a nerd.
I
Scott
don't
Minerd.
doubt this.
Now
20,000, then
CIO.
going over 100,000.
Guys, you know what
I don't doubt.
I love in cryptocurrency how
I don't doubt that this goes all the way to 20,000. I think it hits a hard bottom, 25,000. Some people say 27, 28, whatever, but and then goes up over 100 over the course of this year. If it does not, it will go back into a long bearish cycle.
All of a sudden we get these people and these companies that no one's ever heard of, and we give them like all this credence and stuff, and like now since Guggenheim ICO's Scott Minerd made a $400,000 Bitcoin target, now we can go back and listen to him FUD the price back down so we can get more. Guggenheim CIO, once again, no one knew who he was before this story came out about him predicting a $400,000. Where is the BitBoy crypto $322,000 price prediction article? Where's that at? Cointelegraph, you Russian Ponzi scheme. Oh, we haven't paid him for it. That's why. Oh, Cointelegraph. How noble. How noble of you. If you guys didn't know, I'm just going to say it. This was started by the Russian mafia. You may not know that. God. Here we go. I'm dead. Where's Nina at? Well, I'm just telling you. Shouldn't be saying that, apparently. But I'm telling you that Cointelegraph, pretty sketch. For the YouTube algorithm. Oh, not good. What did I say? Oh, yeah, maybe I shouldn't say the word. Maybe I should call it mafioso. Okay, mafioso. Yeah. Oh, I didn't say violence. I just said. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, I can't say. That's DED. That's DED with the emoji with the X's on the eyes. Okay, that's what that is. But anyways, guys, the point here is that you got this guy predicted 400,000, and then he turns around and says, going down to $20,000. Let's see if he's got a good reason for that. We're likely to see a full retracement. I think for the time being, we probably put the top in for Bitcoin for the next year or so. Unbelievable. Unbelievable what these guys are saying after they just push. Oh, now the panic and the fear. This is all organized. It's all organized. It's so obvious to see. And if you didn't know, like pretty much all media is organized. So where is the bottom of this thing? Okay, well, let's really look at where the bottom potentially could be. God, this momentum wave is so big. It's now went down to 85. Golly, this thing is way down here on the 2-hour chart. Well, that's actually exactly what it was the other day on the 2-hour chart. On the 4-hour chart, it's deeper. Yeah, 4-hour chart is deeper. It's still at like 75.
Look at this goddamn
the point being
crash.
here is that a lot of stuff's organized, but where are we legitimately looking at targets? Okay, well, we do know that there is definitely a lot of people that believe that 27, this support right here, you guys can see because we had this big wick down. This is the 27.5 that it bounced off overnight a few weeks ago. So 27.5 definitely in play. What the yellow X is there? Oh, yeah. Okay, so basically that is, we don't have one on the 4-hour chart, but yellow X means whale manipulation. This is when all the technicals and all the fundamentals, well, I mean, I can think everything on here is technical. I don't think there's any fundamentals built into Market Cipher, but all the technicals are bullish. Now, this is proprietary. CryptoPhase knows exactly. I'm just guessing here based on my usage of it. All the technicals are positive. It should have bounced at some point. Everything is right for the price to go up, but yet it goes down further. CryptoPhase says it's the one-of-a-kind indicator. No one else has it. People say it's impossible to develop, but yet it's pretty consistently accurate from my use of Market Cipher. So,
guys,
we've been
look
seeing
at
a lot
this.
of those yellow.
It's not hard to see. Look at the difference in the way the market is. Okay, look at those two dips that are over in like late November and mid-December, etc. Okay, compare those ugly dips, which were really ugly at the time, to what's happened over the last week. The last week has been absolute trash, atrocious. This is not a dip, okay? This is the fucking dip. Now, you can buy back in right now. You could have done the same thing a few days ago. You could have bought in and then made a shit ton of money. You could have bought in at 32 and you'd be back up nearly to 40. You would have made 30% of your money in the course of a couple of days. You know, making 30% on your money in a couple of days is bonkers. That's bonkers money. Day traders love fluctuations. They'll buy low, sell high, and they'll do that every time, all the way up the bull market and all the way down into a bear market. So that's why you can't really listen to them when you're talking about your trading. If you're trying to trade for long-term gains or short-term gains, you have to decide: am I trading for gains over 2 days? Am I trading for gains over for a week? Am I trading for gains for a year? This trend is relevant to a very specific kind of trade. If you're trading short term, like within, when I say short term, when I usually I say short term, I'm probably referring to day trading. If you're day trading now, we're probably expecting an upturn. It's already plummeted over 16% in a very short period, and dips of dips that are pretty bad usually cap out at 16% before they begin to recover a little bit. Even if we don't reach relative new highs or even new all-time highs, I'm expecting some recovery from this dip at any moment. If that didn't happen, this would be one of the nastiest falls that I've been seeing in 2 months or more, or since the bear market fall of 2017. I don't know. I'm not saying we're not going to be bull market over the next month or two. Everyone says we're going to be a bull market for the next month or two, or halfway through this year, or even to September of this year, which means that the overall value of this will have been an overall increase. So even if we get down into 600 in the next week, we're going to be back up over 1,500 in a month. So you have to take that into consideration. Do I think we're getting back up into 1,500 in the next 2 days? No, I don't. Do I think we'll recover from this and stay in a bull market over the next 2 months? Yes. So if you're not looking to sell out and take a loss, and you want to see the price go back above this, at some time in the relative future, I think you'll see that. As long as we don't break through some new bottoms. We've broken through a number of bottoms that were unacceptable, which is why I'm now saying I'm not bullish on this over the next couple of days. At least I'm not bullish on short-term gains, like day trading types of stuff. I mean, there's always money to be made for people who want to mess around with this. This will go up at some point. This won't take this kind of line all the way down to the floor. You won't, that's not happening. That's not happening. You've never seen that before. If that happens, it's a wrap. It's a wrap for Ethereum for 4 years. So at some point we're breaking off of this line, and I think it's probably going to be around here. That's what I predicted anyway. So we'll see. Yeah, god damn it. We're really just negative trend.
X is on the 1 hour chart
Just
and the
terrible.
2 hour chart. Come over here to the 1 hour chart.
I'm
You
not
see,
monetized, so I can play
yellow
other
X
people's
there, yellow X
streams.
there. So
Okay.
we had 2 on the 1 hour chart. On the 2 hour chart, it looks like we have not had one on the 2 hour chart. So just on the 1 hour chart.
Maybe
so
one
far.
day
So,
I will be monetized, and then we won't be
you
able to
gotta
watch
keep your time
other
frames,
people's
obviously,
YouTube
in mind when you're
streams
looking at
live
stuff.
anymore.
But moving back over here to the 4 hour chart, where are we looking at prices to bounce at? Okay, where are we looking at strong support? Now, keep in mind, it could go up at any time.
Hey,
Technicals
Inez.
technicals are like
Carlos,
a sports
howdy.
handicap. I say this all the time.
Yeah,
You
so
go
that's another
somewhere,
thing, right?
You
To decide whether or not you
talk to
think,
some
do you think you want to take a smaller loss here? Look, this is only $200. That's only $200. I know it seems like a lot, but you could potentially lose. Like if you had sold out here at a loss, like as I said here, if we break below this here, and between these two lines, if we break below this line where I drew this X, then I said we're going into a bullish. I said that yesterday. I said that I'll be feeling or bearish. I said that I would lose all confidence, and if I saw that overnight we break through this, and we did, my overall confidence would be very, very low, and I wouldn't be feeling good about Ethereum for a little while. And we did. We broke right through it, and now we've been falling down ever since. And you can go back and look at that if you want to. We had an opportunity to go bullish again here, didn't take it. An opportunity to go bullish again here, didn't take it. Now I've lost all confidence. This is a perfectly downward, predictable trend now, basically. So it's going to be tough to recover from that. So if you sell here, like I did, I sold at 12.20, for example. I sold a few. After this started to come back down. I tried to sell at 12.50, and by the time it the transaction. I feel like by the time the transaction happened, 12:20 is where it was. You can buy back in here and sell here, and buy back in here and sell here, or you could wait until this bottoms out and we start to see a large, and even if it does recover finally, and this is our hard bottom, it's not doing this. It's not going to do that. Even if this is a hard bottom, let's say we hit this and it's still going to be this kind of thing. So you're still going to have time to get in, okay? If we hard bottom here and decide to go bullish again, you're going to have opportunities to buy back in at here. So you know, selling here at a small loss is, and you could buy back in here at the same price. It'll be like you never did anything. If you sell here and then this recovers, you'll miss these gains. You'll miss $12.60. You'll miss a $60 a share gain, sure. But if you buy back in here, you'll be essentially a washout of what you did, and that's not so bad. Hey Victoria, hello. Yeah. These right here were such nice shakeout triangles. They really were, and they ended up where we were going to have a conformational change, where at one point we were going to break up or break down, and we took the opportunity to go bearish at both moments, just as we had. Basically, we drew this out and it happened, and we drew this out and it happened, both in negatives. We said something was going to happen, and it did, and both times it was negative. And for us to get back to all-time highs is going to be a rough road, and nobody is talking about this right now as something that they're expecting to happen. Okay, nobody is saying, oh, you know what, this is a great dip, we're going to be back at new all-time highs by tomorrow. Nobody's saying that, so just FYI.
One about you know, hey, give me some sports picks. You go to a website, the guy says, oh, you know, like, here's my top, you know, they always have these funny little things like,
yeah.
Blockbuster of the day, it's 37 and 2 in the last 39.
I mean, I sold at 12.20. Probably
so
the last
you
buy
sign
I
up for the
had
Blockbuster
was
of the day, and you lose.
I
Because,
probably
guys,
bought
at
at
the end of the day, they
1300.
don't know. They're only making guesses based
I probably
upon
bought at
all of their
1320
information.
right here.
That is very similar to what happens here
trying
with
to ride this.
charts. That's why people say technical analysis
I probably bought
doesn't
here
work.
actually. I have this
It
marked
really
as a
does
buy.
work most of the time. And
Usually
most of
I
the time,
mark these as
it's
where I think
51%.
they'll be good.
That's most of the time. So
lows,
if you are really
opportunities
watching, I
for
mean, guys,
new
look at
relative
how many
lows.
bounces we got off of our line before it broke
So
down.
I probably
If you are
bought at
trading this line
1320
down
here,
here,
and then sold
you made massive wins
at 1220 here
massive
on a couple of these
wins over
guys.
the last you know, month and a half.
I
Now
probably
you have
took.
stop losses set in.
I
So
probably
in the
took an
case it
$80,
doesn't bounce
$100
off, and
loss
yesterday,
on
I mean, we
two or three.
we had a little
Ethereum.
clue this was coming. I mean, I tried to kind of like, you know, hope for the best because the body.
What's anytime
this,
soon?
Like we were bouncing off the wicks. This
Kane,
body
what's
of
anytime
this,
soon? Do I think we'll get back
candle
up to
closed above,
here?
but we did wick
Yes.
under
Do I
it.
think
So
we're
it
going
was
to
a
do
little
it
clue.
today?
But when we
No.
closed above it, I felt
Tomorrow,
like it was still
probably
bullish.
not.
Most of the time, that could be bullish. But for this one case, it broke down. So you have a stop loss set. Because guys, look, you can make money whether the market's going up or down.
I have a
I'm not
purchase.
shorting
I had a
it,
purchase
so I will not be doing any shorts,
somewhere
but you
around
can.
here.
If that's what you want to do. J-Chain's got a big short
I think I have a
yesterday,
purchase
so
price set
good for
for
him.
somewhere
I'm not
around
doing
there.
it. Why? Because I gotta be putting my money where my mouth is with you guys. That's what I gotta be doing. I can't be shorting and then I'm telling you guys things are bullish. Like to me, that doesn't feel right. I know other people do it more on day trading. I know Carl's going back and forth every single day on what he thinks, but he's giving you stuff based on the day. I'm not really doing that per se. I'm looking for very specific tops and bottoms.
I'll probably
of
buy one
charts.
right
I'm looking
now.
to get in at the bottoms. And
I'll
get
buy
out
one
at the
right
tops.
now
And that's
at
it.
11.78.
That's all I'm trying to do. So when we look at this situation here, and we're really trying to figure out where are the next gaps or where are the next spots?
I would be very surprised if
Go
it
here to
continued
the,
without any
CME.
recovery. Even if we continue an overall downward trend over the next day,
Go over here to the CME here.
it would be extremely rare if there was no bounce back
BTC.
whatsoever at any point.
Where is it? How do I get to the CME gap chart? CME Bitcoin? Maybe we just search it. It'll come up. Here we go. This is, well, no, that's from last year.
I'm about to
I don't have
go
anything
to
recent.
the bio break.
Why can I not
All
find
right.
this right now? I'll get it. I'll pull it up. Trading View, CME gaps chart. We're gonna show you guys where a gap is here on the chart, and show you guys, unfortunately, that there definitely could be, more room to the downside here. When is this from? January 3rd. That looks like this is this year. So yes, absolutely. So when we look here, guys, these are the gaps that we have. Obviously, this gap here was probably negated early on this year. Okay, that was a gap to the upside after we had a dip, I think. But anyways, we went down, we filled this. These are the gaps we have remaining here. We have a gap in between. It looks like 18,000 and 17,000. Now, what are these gaps? These are gaps because the CME futures trading platform is only open from 4 p.m. Central Standard Time on Sundays to Friday at, I think they close an hour early, maybe 3 p.m. Central Standard Time because it's in Chicago, Central Standard Time. So these are the gaps that are produced based on the action that cannot occur over the weekend. If the price goes in at one price point on Friday and then on Sunday it opens up at a higher price point, that creates these gaps. And what's really interesting is we have a lot of information on these gaps to the bottom side in a bear market to say that 98% of the time they get filled. But CME launched at the peak of the bull market, the beginning of the bear market. So we don't know, and this is the narrative a lot of people aren't telling you, we do not know how Bitcoin is going to react to these gaps in a bull market. We've never seen it before. We have literally nothing to compare it to. So anybody that tells you, like, these are definitely going back to these gaps, we don't know that. They certainly could, but we don't know that. So we look at the next gap down, and we look, and it is in between $26,300 and $23,700. Okay? So a lot of people think that $23,000 to $27,000 range could potentially be where we're looking at. And I was watching maybe Carl's video from the moon earlier today. I've been watching a lot of crypto videos lately, which is very unlike me because I'm busy making videos all the time. But I've been watching a lot of crypto videos, getting other people's perspectives on things, and definitely been seeing a lot of interesting stuff. For Carl is talking about this gap, and he thinks it could fill. He's saying that basically we didn't look like that head and shoulders pattern was playing out, but if the head and shoulders pattern played out that we saw in the charts that began last week, then we could be looking at the range of somewhere in between 23,000 and I need to know how to make these boxes. I've not done a lot of actual drawing on the charts for my own purposes over the years, as you guys know. But so somewhere in this range right here. So it could be looking here. Let me just make these lines here so people can see them instead of just marking them. So we could be looking somewhere in between this range right here in this box. There's a much easier way to do this on here. I know there is than that. But that's what we could be looking at. So somewhere in this range. So we could be looking for a bounce here. If not, this is the range of the CME gap. So it could be bouncing down here off 23,000. Do I think it's going to go that low? I don't think it's going to go that low. But one thing that to keep in mind is that once these technicals push the prices lower, it's hard to use the fundamentals to push them back up necessarily, unless we got some huge news. And we've got all this FUD coming from the U.S. government and the UK government right now. All of these fundamentals are really pushing it down. But what we discover, and kind of what we're talking about with organized FUD, the whales will use these stories. Whatever story is around the time they want to push the price down, they masquerade these stories to push the price down. Okay? So that is what we're seeing right now. So if you were to ask me what's probably going to happen from here, what is probably going to happen? With ETH? Everybody wants me to look at the ETH chart? Okay, well, we're going to look at it here in about 30 seconds, okay? 30 seconds. Stop spamming the chat though, guys. It's at it's the same place it was earlier. It's at 1188. So we're gonna look at the chart. I'm gonna tell you guys why the ETH price is very, very, very interesting. But just back to the Bitcoin chart here. The last thing I want to show you guys, okay, is when you look at where these prices are going to, okay, the people, especially when there's manipulation involved, they know that this line right here is a line a lot of people are looking at, okay? So a lot of people are setting orders here, priming to buy here, and then also, you know, longer term plays, people have this line right here for orders, okay? A lot of times these are going to come down, they're going to bounce right above them because they don't want those orders to get filled because they're manipulating it down to a certain price. Because imagine buying 1,000 Bitcoin at $2,000 less. You're making a lot of money doing that, okay? Especially when that's compounded when the price goes up. So basically what we're looking at here is I do believe that as soon as we get this green dot, I'm going long, but I think we could be looking at a dip slightly below 30K, 29,900. That's kind of a good target, I think, because I don't think it's going to go down. It's going to fill these, but it's going to go somewhere in between here and here. Somewhere in this range is where I think we will get a bounce. All right, now if you guys like Ethereum and you want me to talk about Ethereum, make sure to go ahead and smash the like button. I know you guys love ETH. I love ETH. We are the official Ethereum channel. We're trying to get 4,000 likes. 4K. 4K. Will we ever get to 4K? I don't know. Living in a trader's paradise. We got a whole gangster's paradise. Also, Sean P. Diddy Combs, I'll be missing you. He might have actually been talking about 42K in that song. That's what we discovered this morning. I'll be missing you ever since you went away. 42K, what a price to take. I'll be missing you. Guys, I'm really going to hit it big. American Idol, here I come. Okay, Ethereum mega whales grow in numbers while mid-tier whales resolve to profit booking. This is what I've been telling you guys, okay? Big money's coming to Ethereum. Big money is on the way. How from this one little headline do we know that, okay? Well, first of all, I know talking to people are wanting to take profits. You know, they were wanting to take profits around all-time highs. Makes sense. I get it. We want to lock in profits, okay? But what's happening here is these whales are buying up all of the Ethereum that the small profit bookers are giving up. So think about that. What does that tell you about the price? And I think over time, we're going to be seeing much less volatility in these assets to the downside. Because still be seeing it on the upside, but much less volatility on the downside, which I mean, I know it's a crazy concept to think about today because we're seeing the downside volatility, okay? But the point here is that the more of these mega whales hold on to these assets, MicroStrategy, Grayscale, Square, PayPal, we talk about them all the time, the more these people hold on, the much less likely it is that those are going to sell. They like to buy. They've got enough money to buy the dips. They're not concerned about selling. They are concerned about accumulating, okay? So let's take a look at the Ethereum chart, and I just want to show you guys something. First of all, if you guys remember correctly, where did I tell you guys? Now, I didn't short. Once again, I don't short in a bull market. I'll say that a million times. You won't see any shorts in my account on Bybit. But I told you guys, I said, where could the price be falling to? And I said this the day that it hit the all-time highs. I said my target was around where? 1180. People didn't want to hear it at the time. People did not want to hear it at the time. They did not want to hear it could fall. And the momentum was so bullish that it felt like, once again, feelings, it felt like it just wasn't going to go down, okay? It did feel that way, and I get it because I feel that. You guys think I'm immune to the emotions of cryptocurrency trading? I just make actions that don't take those emotions into consideration. Like when I wake up this morning and I see the price in my portfolio, do you know what my reaction is? I lost literally hundreds of thousands of dollars overnight. Literally hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's not an exaggeration. Keep in mind, you might have lost $100, $5,000, $10,000, whatever you lost, whatever trading level you're at. I'll tell you my reaction. Then I want you to think about yours, okay? My reaction to I lost hundreds of thousands of dollars overnight was to go like this. Guess Bitcoin dipped. That was it. Put it down. Went down, started writing my script for today, started looking at the chart, started checking stuff out. I went on a fact-finding mission to figure out how I can take advantage of that. It was not, oh my God, yesterday I was worth this. Today I'm worth this. Where do I sell at? Oh my gosh. So, and it is dipping further as we speak right now. It looks like it's 1171. But my target for this, for Ethereum, back to this, was $1,180, okay? Can it go down further? Well, yeah, obviously it can. 1168, that's where it's at right now. But if you compare the 1180 price entry point to 1440, seems pretty nice, doesn't it? Seems pretty nice right now. And we do know at some point we are going to begin this dip. But one thing I want to show you about Ethereum, and this is why I'm so glad. Do you guys remember when we made our big Ethereum to Bitcoin trade? And everybody was like, why'd you do that? That's crazy. And then Bitcoin shot up. And then right when Bitcoin hit about $24,000, we moved it all over to Ethereum. And we got killed for that at the time because price of Bitcoin kept going up. Well, now Ethereum's had its little run. And I want you guys to think about this, okay? That is actually looking, when we went back to Ethereum, like a big win because Ethereum is eating away at Bitcoin. It's now almost 4% of the Bitcoin price. Was it about 2.5% we made that trade? So that shows you how many gains Ethereum is making against Bitcoin right now in its Bitcoin value. Ethereum is holding relatively tough compared to Bitcoin that is now down from its all-time high. What's price? I'm sure this fell too. Yeah, we're right back at 31,000. I knew this fell. Why did I know this fell? Because the Ethereum price dropped, okay? This has gone from 42,000 all the way down to 30,500 at the low last week. Ethereum is not experiencing nearly the same percentage of a fall that we're seeing Bitcoin fall. I mean, Bitcoin's falling massively. So in my opinion, Ethereum, and here's the evidence of that, okay? I want to show you guys the evidence of this, okay? Look at this. This is on the 4-hour chart. We have not seen negative money flow. This is smart money. Keep in mind, smart money. We have not seen negative money flow into Ethereum since the first week of December. This entire drop right here, okay? Entire drop, still money coming in on the green side. Still the money flow is positive. Let's compare that to Bitcoin. Look at Bitcoin. We are in the red. We are in the red, the negative money flow. Still not very drastically. And this is what makes me think that when we get the pop, it is going to pop so hard. And that's why you don't need to worry, because if you're a person that's doing any trading, these are opportunities, big, big, big opportunities for you guys. I know we're running a little long today, but that's okay. We're going to keep on going here. What is this story? Why did Bitcoin fall below 33K?
Good question.
Do I want to talk more about Ethereum right now? I don't know if I do. Do y'all want me to talk more about Ethereum? I did mean to say this number here, or this about Bitcoin. A look at Coinbase Pro's BTC price premium suggests that selling is underway on Thursday as Bitcoin falls 7% over 24 hours. Coinbase premium abruptly dropped. So data from the Cointelegraph Markets and Trading View showed BTC USD continuing its downtrend, dropping a 7% and failing to bounce off the 33K support. It failed off 32. It's bouncing off 31, but how long will that hold? I think, personally, we are going to see that drop down below 30,000 for Bitcoin, and that's why we have Ethereum falling. But look where it's sitting at right now, 1180. This is a great entry. If I'm only trading Bitcoin right now, and the reason I'm only trading Bitcoin right now is because we're getting ready for the Bitcoin trading contest on Bybit, so I'm brushing up on my Bitcoin trading skills. So I'm not trading Ethereum right now. I'm only trading Bitcoin. But I think that, obviously when we get a flash crash from Bitcoin and it goes down below, 30K, guess what's going to happen? Ethereum is going to drop. But what we've seen is what this suggests right here, what this green money flow suggests, is that Ethereum right now is being more resilient to recover than Bitcoin. So while the drop for Bitcoin actually presents a better opportunity for longing than Ethereum, because it's not as resilient. So when it pops up, it's going to pop up massive. You know, still definitely a lot of opportunity with Ethereum at 1180 right now. It is on sale. You guys remember dips are
on sale
for buying. But guys, let's talk about XRP for a minute, because I mean, do people care about XRP anymore? Do people really care about this? I thought this was interesting news here. Okay, Biden to pick former Ripple board member as OCC head. Now, what I didn't realize is that Brian Brooks was a
Are you
Trump
shitting me?
Appointee, and he's gonna be leaving. This is very sad. This is very sad that Brian Brooks is leaving. Brian Brooks has done so much for
Ripple tokens
crypto
for so
in the
long.
government. It's a little scary that he's leaving, but if you're into XRP, then this is definitely something to pay attention to. Did XRP get a big move yesterday? Didn't it get a big move when everything else was dropping? This was probably why, I would say. Let's see. XRP now is down 5%, but earlier it was doing okay before this crash. It had a little bit of a price rise, and the reason for that surely was this article. It went from 30 to 32 yesterday, so it did have a big spike. This is certainly why.
30 to 32 is a big spike.
Michael Barr, the former member,
I guess that's almost 10%.
The former member of Ripple's advisory board is likely to head the OCC. Now, if you don't know what the OCC is, which you probably do if you watch this channel, obviously the comptroller of the currency is the dorkiest name ever for a government regulation body, and what they do is they control all the banks. So, bunch of money nerds. Michael Barr, former U.S. Treasury official and previously a key member of Ripple's advisory board, will replace Brian Brooks. So he's getting replaced by another former crypto guy, which is interesting, according to the Wall Street Journal. And why is this? Why is this? The reason for this, in my opinion, would be because why we have two crypto guys in a row in charge of banks is because the government knows what's coming. They're trying to get a little out ahead of it, and they are working on digital dollar. And they need guys in the government that know how to run this digital dollar. Yes? My rapping crashed the price. Listen, guys, I didn't know that my rapping was gonna make it happen. Now y'all can get your green candles out and start fapping. I know how y'all do. Huh? Y'all like that? That's pretty sick, wasn't it? Pretty good. I made that off the dome. Don't think I ain't got it. Come on, y'all. Lil bitty, let's go. Okay. Anyway, that was nothing, guys. I got bars for days. Okay,
no,
bars for days.
You're not good at that.
I just don't
Please
like to
stop.
pull it out too much. That's what she said. Hey, okay, all right. So we got crypto guy on XRP guy. Could this be? Now we know XRP has the lawsuit. The United States government is coming after them with the lawsuit by the SEC. Is this a way to install a Ripple inside man to come in here and turn the tide? I think this could make it easier for a settlement. Definitely, you got somebody in the inside of the government, which
he doesn't.
I guess is this really? I guess well, the Federal Reserve is not a government agency. If you guys didn't know, I guess the OCC clearly is a government agency. So I guess this is like installing an inside man in the government for Ripple. He said, "I'm excited to be." Well, this is when he joined Ripple Labs. He said, I'm excited to be joining the advisory board of Ripple Labs. Our global payment system is badly outdated. I think innovation in payments can make the financial system safer, reduce costs, improve access, and efficiency for consumers and business alike. And I want to be clear about my thoughts on XRP. Okay?
See, look at Bullcron.
I told you guys that XRP is falling down CoinMarketCap.
Turning $30. If you don't have a transaction fee, you're turning $30 just like that. Just like that.
Look at this, less than
right
$2
here.
billion.
That's 1167.
You didn't know $2 billion is
high as 1191. You literally could have made, nearly $30 just like that.
$2 billion behind. Cardano now crushing Litecoin that had a massive drop yesterday. But what you're seeing here is you are seeing Cardano.
I feel
passing XRP.
I feel like I traded all my XRP
now,
for Ethereum.
why is this significant?
I feel like I traded all my XRP for Ethereum.
Oh, $10 super chat from Simon, an academy or course for beginners. We are working on a full academy.
Few hundred of them at least.
Full academy, and it will be much cheaper than the other academies out there. You'll be coming in at $29.99. That's hundreds of dollars cheaper than a lot of places. And lots of free content. Free academy. It's going to be free. $29 a month to join the membership, but all the courses are going to be free. Does that make sense? That doesn't make sense, does it? No. $29.99 a month for unlimited courses, I believe, is what we're doing. So that's kind of... We'll come back to that. That's what he said. But we are working on that. But anyways, guys, what we're looking at here is XRP falling. It will fall down to the number 6 spot. I think it's likely that if we get bullish momentum again, that XRP could fall out of the top 10.
Yeah, guys,
But
listen.
long term, I
These
do believe
predictions are
that Ripple Labs
based
will
off
settle with the
of
U.S. government. They will settle.
what I look to see when I look at all the trends and I look at how hard this falls, or how hard this falls, and how hard this falls, and how hard do we fall? When we fall, how hard do we fall? And you see there's a percentage. If you want to take it from here, you go all the way down to here. That's 14. If you want to take, here to here, that's 6. 6% falls are normal all day. 6% falls happen legit all the time. Look at this though. That was a 31% fall. That was such a fall, you wouldn't believe it. That was so scary. That okay, that just went and disappeared on the side over there. Then when we saw this recovery, and then we saw this hard new floor, and we started to come back up, that's when we were able to draw this triangle, knowing that there would be a conformational change once the shakeout happened. And right here we knew everything was going to break out, and I drew all of this long before this happened. And you can go back and look at my videos, but long before this 1230 to 1430 $200 jump happened, we had said that it would happen right about here. Okay, but when you look at these kinds of falls and recoveries where we get back down and we get back over, you see these falls, usually they're like 4 to 6%, and then you have the bigger falls, which usually aren't more than 12 to 16%. Well, I drew this at a 16% fall, and also it followed my trend line. It followed my trend line for this negative overall, very linear negative decrease. And so this was, I was hoping was going to be the next hard, like soft bottom. I wouldn't call it a hard bottom. This is a hard bottom over here. The next soft bottom I thought was going to be at 1160-ish. Yeah, right there at 1160. I tried to draw this off 1160. And then I thought it would go up to 1300. And then we'll see more sell-offs. Bring us back down to, actually this should be 1100. Should be right about here. And then I don't know what keeps happening, but this is just like a ballpark idea of what I think is how it's going to be moving here over the next day. I don't think it recovers today back over. I don't think we come back up to 1380 today. I think we hit a soft bottom. I think we see some recovery. I see that we see some sell-offs at 1300 and then begin to continue our descent, at least for the next day, maybe 2. If we hit here, I think we'll probably bounce off of this pretty hard and begin another bull run. If we don't and we fall through here, dude, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. There is no way Ethereum is going to recover from busting through this floor in the next 2 or 3 days, in a month. I don't think in a month it would take to recover from that kind of floor busting.
With the SEC, which will result in a catapult of the price and put them firmly back in the top 10.
Yeah, I did buy. I bought at
too big of a company to fail,
1160-ish or whatever it was.
Opinion.
Right here, I bought.
So I think they can fail. The reason how they can fail
probably
is if they say
if I hit
we will not settle with the government. We
1280. I'll probably sell at 1280.
Biggest lawyers, and we are going to
just
try
mark
to
it. I'll just
beat
mark
the
it.
government. That doesn't
I'll probably
happen.
sell 1 or 2.
Remember,
I never sell
nobody
everything
beats the
or
government.
buy
The government
everything.
always
And
wins.
I don't like go all in
Yeah,
with
if you
every
can't beat them, join
transaction.
them, and so that may be their strategy with them. Getting
diversify
this
my
advisory board member
risk
into
by going in at
the
a certain amount.
Government with the OCC, so definitely very interesting. So I want to show you guys about my trade on Bybit that I made. Okay, you guys can see right now I'm sitting at 1.09 BTC. We withdrew a lot of money a couple weeks ago from this trade. That's the way I like to do it. I like to withdraw, take a little break, put money back in, and go back at it. So you guys can see I sent over exactly 1 BTC earlier today over to this account. So we have 1.09 BTC in our account. So I made 0.0937 on this trade earlier today. Now, if you do want to sign up for Bybit, remember we got a new page to do that. Sign up for Bybit by visiting bitboycrypto.com/deals, and you can get access to all of our deals that we are offering. We're building that page out. It's not totally done, but we think we do have a pretty good head start on it. But the point here is, okay, is I want to show you guys how I made this trade. You can also sign up for our competition, by the way, on that page. We had any more participants sign up. I knew we'd have to. We got 85 more. We got 4 days to go. We're gonna be giving away full Bitcoin. So, but I want to show you guys how I did this. So check out my closed P&L for Bitcoin. You see we've got 7 successful trades in a row. This is real.
The reason I don't like to change charts, I like to look. The 1 minute, the 3 minute, and maybe even the 5 minute chart are just too volatile. You watch that stuff, you're gonna have a heart attack. Okay, a lot can happen in 15 minutes. Do you want to follow 1 minute trends, or do you want to follow larger, broader, more predictable and understandable trends? You know. So I don't like to look at a 1 minute chart. Plus, all my drawings don't translate between timescales, unfortunately.
Obviously, you guys can see it here. We've made almost 1 full Bitcoin in this account, just on Bitcoin. We're up $5,000 or $6,000 on ETH, okay? The daily realized P&L, you guys see, I guess it worked out to exactly $3,000 is what it was for that trade. Now, I want to show you guys how I did this, okay? I used Market Cipher. I need to get rid of all this stuff here. Let me get rid of all these lines here. Let's see, go back here. Get rid of this stuff. I want to keep those lines there. I mean, guys, here's the truth about that. 25 ETH by Valentine's Day, or $2,500 ETH by Valentine's Day. People are asking if I'm still on that. It just depends, guys. I mean, what I said in that video when I said that price, I said, the only thing that can throw this off is a monumental Bitcoin collapse. And I will say this, if Bitcoin is near the bottom, then I think we're still right on track.
My wife
Some
tells me
people
not
are
to blow up the
suggesting that we are
bathroom
now
before the
looking
tutor
at a
comes.
multi-week correction. And if we get a multi-week correction, you know, and the price goes down, Ethereum gets down near $1,000 again. I mean, we could be looking at a few weeks to climb up. I still am confident at this moment
I was telling you,
that is going to be. I'm still confident at this moment. If we go down to $23,000 for Bitcoin, then we're probably gonna have to extend that out a little bit. But you know, I did say it's totally dependent on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin stays sideways or just dipping a little bit or in a tight range, then
day traders will play.
However, now we've seen the market pretty much collapse today,
then you know, don't worry about all this.
Can obviously
worry about
where
overall downward trends like this, but this and this and this and this doesn't matter.
So
only this whole trend
let's
matters.
get back to Bybit and show you guys what I did. So what I did is I used Market Cipher on the, let me move Market Cipher over here. Okay. I used Market Cipher on the 1 hour chart. Obviously, we haven't got our green dot on the 2 hour yet. Still watching that. I was on the 1 hour chart today. Okay. And I saw this green dot down here. And so I said, okay, hey, the market is bullish. This must be the bottom. As you can see, it's been very solid here at 31,000 even. Okay. So, I mean, good way to play this right now is anytime it dips down at 31,000, which the more times it dips down there, the more chances it'll break down. But 31,000 has been really strong support. I got in
Kids are getting yelled
on
at
this
and
candle
yelling
right
at each other,
here,
so I'm
actually,
just
on this green dot
pausing that
at
volume button.
32,300. Okay, so about 32,347. That's about where I got in, I think. Somewhere around that price point. And we got the green dot. I said, okay, I set my stop loss at 32,000 even. And I had that, that would have been a 30% loss on that trade. So I've been a huge loss if it when it went down there. But we're willing to take those gambles when we get our green dots, because we know most of the time when we use these, we're going to make money. And you can have 5 losing trades in a row and get one trade where you nail that bottom. You don't have to be even a 50-50, even a 1-to-1 successful to fail trade, kind of trader in order to make money. You just have to be able to nail the bottoms, or if you're shorting, nail the tops, which you can't short. I'm not doing it. But what happened is I got in on
Thank
this
you,
one.
Victoria. Very nice. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Price point I got in at there. It'll tell us on our closed P&L. I got in at 32,337. Okay, so I got in 32,337 on this body through 32,3. We'll just call it 347. That's about as close as I can get to it here. Okay, I rode this up. The price went all the way up here to 32,769. Originally, if we were to go back and we were to look at like the 15-minute chart, the price went up to 32.6. Okay, and I was up about 20% in the trade, about $7,000. And all of a sudden, the price started dropping, and it actually went down to the negative. I was kind of concerned it was going to go down and hit my stop loss. And I said, why did I not use this simple trading strategy? Simple trading strategy to lock in profits. That's all I had to do. Because, guys, it doesn't matter how much money you make on the trades as long as you're winning. You want to lock wins in, okay? So what I did to lock in these profits, because luckily for me, it did not hit the stop loss, and it bounced above. I should have used this strategy the first time. I would have made the same amount of money because I set it at about the same point, but I wouldn't have had to risk going back down to the downside. All you do, simple trading strategy, move your stop loss up, okay? So originally, so you guys can visualize this here, let's get a different color than we usually use here. We use green because green's fun, okay? So initially, I got in at 32,337. Show you guys this. There it is, 32,337, okay? Okay, so I got in right here. This is where I got in, okay? I have my stop loss, make that red, I have my stop loss down here at 32,000 even. This would have been a 32% loss. Did you guys see that thing automatically changed? That's not what I wanted. Hold on. I got to put a new line in. Okay. All right, so now we'll go back and do another one, and hopefully this one will be red. We'll make this one red. Had stop loss at 32,000. Okay. 32,000. I'll make that one red. Let's see if it turns them all red. No, perfect. Okay. So this was my range where I could lose in the trade. You can see it didn't really get close to that. It went all the way down to 32,175. What happened is, after the price went up to $32,550, all I did is I moved my stop loss up, $32,500, okay? Right there. Now, this big wick up here, if this truly was the bottom and we hit this green dot and it didn't go back down, we didn't hit the yellow X, at 32,550, I had so much room to the upside. And you can see how far it ran. It ran at 32,778, somewhere around there. I got up to where I was up like, I don't know, I'd said $15,000, or it might have been closer to $11,000 or $12,000 because I didn't see it at the exact peak. Somewhere in between 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, somewhere in that range. And I was comfortable losing that approximately $10,000 in profit because I had already locked in $3,000 in profit. It's locked in. Now I can feel comfortable if the stop loss comes down, and you can do a trailing stop loss. I can show you guys how to use that. I like to set them manually. What's that? Yeah. I like to set it up manually. That's what I like to do personally. You can use a trailing stop loss. But this is a simple strategy to lock in profits, because how many of you guys have been trading?
Okay,
and
thank you,
the
Life.
price plummet
Thank you very much.
only after you saw yourself in profit first. You see yourself like up 10, 15, 20, 30%. You get greedy.
Yeah,
You say,
5 sounds
you forget,
good.
You're like, oh, I still
Rock,
wanted to go get liquidated,
5%
down to
gain
the bottom,
over the
whatever it is,
course of,
and you lose profits and you end up the trade in a loss. You want to always lock in profits when you're in greed. Always. Every
a few
single
hours,
time. Leave yourself
as
room to the
opposed to
upside.
a
But
month.
lock in profits, move it up, get a number you're comfortable with, 10%, 5%, whatever it is,
Thank you.
and boom. So, last thing I want to say about today, I'll turn.
Yeah, I think we should
last
see
thing I
some
wanna say
minor
is, guys,
recovery.
I know people are
Whether
scared.
it goes all the way up
and I
to
get it.
1280
I feel the emotions just
questionable.
like
I have an
the
automatic
point
sell
is-
set for 1280, but
is
I'll be
that
watching
I
it,
don't
and if it
think
like starts
we've
to
seen
top
the bottom
out
yet.
at
But that does not
1260,
mean that we are
1270,
not
and it
still
doesn't look like it's going to creep any
bullish.
higher,
Okay,
I will
we are
jump in and
still
sell a couple.
bullish on the price of Bitcoin. We are bullish on the space. We are bullish that we are still in a bull run. And this, it just all
You can
boils
get
down to,
XRP on
are you an
Coinbase,
investor or
but they
are
charge
you
like
a
1.5%
trader?
at
If you're a
least
trader,
on their
you
transactions.
look for opportunities like this. You love it.
I use
If you're an
Coinbase, I
investor,
believe,
for the
and
long term,
Binance, obviously.
Just don't get shaken out by
so.
stuff like this, because we still believe firmly that we are in a bull market. We have history, lots of history to back that up. So I just want to say, guys, I don't change on what I think. I'm going to stay bullish all the way until July, August, September. Those are months that we could be looking at tops. Until then, I'm still going to be bullish. Bitcoin still hitting six figures. It doesn't matter if it goes down to 23,000. We are way ahead of the pace. Now, it might affect, will we get 100K, 115K, like Dan Moorhead of Pantera Capital is saying, or will we get up to the $330 or $322,000 prediction? That's what's affected. We're only affecting the end game. We're not affecting the short term at all. We are still bullish and in a bull run. So that's how I'm handling things. I would suggest you guys do it in a similar manner. But let's also not be stupid. And if you're trading, let's make sure we got stop losses and do responsible things. Don't forget to sign up for Bybit by visiting bitboycrypto.com/deals. Guys, drop comments below. Let us know what you think. Smash the like button. How many likes did we get to? We only got to 3,200. Guys, smash the like button before you go out. Just do us that favor. If
Before
you
you
like
go
all
out.
the free content,
Smash that like
guys,
button before
go
you
ahead
go
and
out.
Smash that like button. We would appreciate it. That's all I got.
People donated you 0.0005 ETH.
Steve and Dave use eToro to trade cryptocurrencies. Steve has a watch list for promising breakout coins. Dave has a watch list too.
What are we talking
So
about?
why
Who's
is
giving
Dave just as
ETH?
good a trader as
Give
Steve?
me some ETH. I'll
It's
take
because
some of that
Dave used
shit.
eToro's copy trader to
not above
automatically
betting,
replicate
okay?
Steve's trading activity.
I'm
Whenever
pretty
Steve makes a
prideful,
trade,
actually.
Dave does too.
I don't take handouts. I never
Trade
have
like
my
a
whole
Steve
life.
with
And
eToro,
it's
the
actually
world's leading social trading platform.
a really nice way to trick
older.
the middle
So we're gonna
class.
see that as well. And then also, guys, you get
What
access to
just
my altcoin
happened?
portfolio and sorting that out this weekend.
just happened?
I'm gonna get a nice.
What just happened? Did I just accidentally leave Bitcoin? BitBoy? Did I just accidentally leave BitBoy? Is that what happened? Jesus. Alright. Well, let's watch this asshole.
Pie chart which evolves over time depending on what I buy
Oh,
and
am
sell
I
in
not
altcoins,
subscribed to
and
him?
then access
Dude, I
to any
like this
future
guy.
indicators, because we're gonna develop two more
I've watched a
indicators
few
in
of
this
his
package.
videos. He's pretty good.
One's going to be an inflow and outflow of Bitcoin on exchanges, and then another one's going to be a long to short ratio, which you can put in trading view. So you can actually have it in trading view, and it just tells you over a handful of very, very good exchanges. So let me go on quick bit of, let me show you some shizzle. Over probably the top 5 to 10 exchanges. Glassnode Studio will show you what the liquidity is of these exchanges now. So you go on futures. Oh,
Hard play.
They've done all of it now. I need to
If you
buy
don't
this.
stop blowing up the chat
can't
too
even see,
hard, I'm
like-
gonna have to block
Right,
you.
these guys are dickheads now.
Sorry,
okay,
dude.
moving away from them and going on Scoop. If they want to
Yeah,
do that,
the world
I'm gonna have to buy a premium package for this now.
could be,
'cause you can't get that, but you can see on Skew that
apocalyptic
you can
one day,
see
hopefully.
that. Wait for it to load.
Not
You got
soon.
CME Group, you got OKX.
Got
I'll probably do
kids.
CME, OKX,
Forum.
Binance, obviously, Huobi, Bybit. There are probably these exchanges here, and it will just give you basically an idea of like what the long to short ratio is. And Bybit's just murking it. Like you use Bybit to trade Bitcoin, guys. So the link's in the description, guys. You can get up to a $600 bonus when you trade Bybit for Bitcoin. Sorry, when you trade Bitcoin on Bybit. And you got to remember,
A lot of people talking about
this
Bybit.
trading is that this exchange is now doing fuckloads of volume. Like it's really, really big exchange. It's doing much more than it's doing it in an open interest similar to BitMEX, but in volume. Where's BitMEX? BitMEX isn't even on here anymore.
Yeah, I think our
BitMEX is
short term.
way down. Look at the
So
volume BitMEX is doing. It's just done. It's over for BitMEX. So that's
if we
Bitcoin.
have
Where the fuck? Okay, BitMEX is
new
there. Okay, it's
relative
doing double
lows or
basically.
new
Still doing
or
double.
relative high. So
Definitely look at
relative
Bybit,
to
really good
our
exchange,
current
and then guys
position
use Femex for
between
altcoins
now
because
and the
Femex
next 2
has got
days,
all the
this could
altcoins
be
you need and
the
a really
highest it
fast exchange
gets.
with huge liquidity and low slippage. I personally use Femex
Between-
to trade
for the
altcoins
next,
because I just love it so much. It's
you
very
know,
similar to Bybit in a
24
way.
hours.
The UI and stuff.
I don't
But they've got
think.
tons of
I think
altcoins, and the
1300
community
is a
decides
great
which
sell
altcoins
for the
go on,
next
and you can
24 hours.
see
If
that
we
they've
can
got the
get
best
there,
altcoins.
I'm
because
really. I got to
I hate
sell
all these
set at
products you
1280.
see
To
where
be
it's
honest.
like they just don't like listen to their
If
fucking
I see
community
it
base.
hitting
Like,
1260
literally just put out a poll
or
in your
1270
send out
and
an
starting
email, do a
to
poll
hit
in the
hard
exchange saying,
and want to
what
break
token
back
do you want
down,
next?
I'll quickly
And then what happened is the community
change
say,
and
yes,
I
we
will
want
sell
DOT.
it at
And then you're just like,
1260
alright,
to
let's add DOT.
1280.
Okay, we want Uniswap. Okay, let's add Uniswap. I love that system, and it means that all the altcoins here are actually relevant. They're relevant, and they're the ones which are being mostly traded. And then that goes back round to MDX Premium as well, so you can check that out, and you can get more trading strategies in there as well. And also, if you're a newbie, mdxcrypto.com, check it out. Right, that's all that BS. Well, not BS, but it's
Well,
my whole life.
Trump
Like,
left the
I'm
White
saying you guys
House,
wanna look at the charts, man. You want to hear me shilling my shit all the time. So
quietly, I guess you could
3,600
say.
people in here, guys, absolutely amazing.
So we're good, I think. Biden
If
is
you
now
could,
in.
if we can get 3,000 likes, guys,
Trump
absolutely just incredible
did not.
support. So,
He was
so
not
good see you.
allowed
Join
to
MDX trading.
instigate any more
Let me find,
insurrection,
FIFA. No, not that.
and
That's
so that
FIFA.
stopped.
Okay, so let's have a look. He's a legend, is he?
So
Okay,
that's all good.
let's do some more questions. I need to catch up with these questions, man. So this was the last one, wasn't it? Yes. Where's my second belt? Let me do his voice if I can even do it. What? You alright, babe? You watching me work? You want to eat? You want to eat? Oh fuck. Well, okay. What time is it? Babe, I think like eating isn't gonna happen right now. I need to just carry on this for. How long have I been going for? Almost 2 hours. Okay, sick. Well, it's 2 hours basically on. So yeah. Where's my second belt? Break out the red panties. Can't do this. I can't do his accent anymore. I used to be McGregor. I'm wearing the UFC top. He's fighting tomorrow. Isn't a pennant and not a symmetrical triangle keep up the vids? Isn't it a pennant? Well, a pennant is basically, yeah, a pennant is a symmetrical triangle. A pennant is just basically a triangle formation. So, you know, you can have, what the fuck? Google. So you can basically, you can have this is a pennant, this is a pennant, that's a pennant. A descending triangle is a pennant. Like, you know, at the end of the day, they're all pennants, but like, pennants are usually more indicative of a symmetrical triangle. Same thing. So let's keep going. Yo, long dot from what's it? I think NF. What is that? New Zealand, right? No, not New Zealand. NZ. Long dot from NF. Advise easy. $100. Discreet like. Okay, cheers, brother. $10 as well, man. Thanks for the donation, brother. Admin Juad. Thank you for that, man. Absolute legend. Long dot. I agree. Dot in the long term is definitely a good position to be in. Dot is just going to go to the moon. It is in my buy zone right now. I could. This is the next buy zone for me. If it does want to break, okay, it's actually broken out of this descending pattern. It's actually still bullish Dot right now. You know, I couldn't be bearish on it. We have a sell signal on the hourly on two algos, but as of right now, looking at it, I would go against that. It looks like it could curve around and do another a bullish deviation, but if Bitcoin wants to dump a lot, guys, it will get wrecked. And then this is the next buy zone. This is the next buy zone, and just buy these levels, man. If it goes lower, just buy it because Dot in the long term, Dot's it's not even like it's so undervalued. It's not even in price discovery really for what it's going to be. So I think Dot's good long term. Let's have a look at the live stream. Sorry. Guys, absolutely phenomenal support. Like 3,500 people, guys. If we can get to 3,000 likes, guys, I am eternally grateful. And also, guys, I'm humbled by the support on this channel. It really is just like, yeah, I can't ask for enough. I couldn't ask for more from this community, the MDX Legends. So if we can get to 3,000 likes, guys, and also you need to like the streams to get into the $100,000 MDX fucking party. The party was gonna kick off, guys. The like button has to be blue, and it means more people watch the stream. And then more people
I'm not
find out
gonna
about
listen
Bitcoin
to
content.
this guy try and beg
Yo,
for likes.
just joined. Opinion on
That
ETH.
kind of
I
shit
have
drives
it
me
at
crazy.
136. Oh, you bought that price $2, man. Riley, absolute legend. Ethereum, man. Like I could talk about Ethereum all night, to be honest, dude. But just to make it really simple for you, long term, I think it's a good buy. If it breaks,
Did I accidentally click
The
out of
best way
this
to burn
and he was
fat
still on it?
is with more fat. And I'm being serious because there's actually two different types of fat in your body.
All right,
One-
dude.
Button before you go out. Just do us that favor. If you like all the free content that we give you guys, go ahead, smash that like button.
I do.
We would appreciate it. That's all I got.
Let's see what else we got. Ooh, Ivan on tech 46 minutes ago? Hell yeah.
Let me tell you how millions are made in the crypto industry. Because let's be honest, all of us here are mainly here for the gains. We're mainly here for the money. And it's completely fine to be honest with that simple fact. Too many people say that they're here for the technology, they're here for this, they're here for that. And of course, it's amazing technology. Of course, the technology is changing the world. Technology is what fundamentally allows this industry to grow. But if you are really, really honest with yourself, 99.99999% of people are here for one single reason, and that is the gains. How do you achieve gains in this industry?
You guys should follow
There's
Ivan
several
on
different
tech.
avenues.
This
I will be
guy's
showing
great.
you the
He knows
different
his shit,
avenues,
and he
and
posts
I will be telling
multiple times a
you
day.
which one fits which risk profile, because it's all about risk profile. You have to consider your own risk tolerance, and I'll be telling you the different methods and different ways you can take in order to make millions, to achieve financial independence in this space. And before we get into the content, I want to remind you that next week we have a completely free webinar about trading. If you want to understand how you can crush, absolutely demolish this market, you should listen carefully, because in the webinar I will show you how I see big pumps before they happen, how you can see big dumps before they happen, how you land perfect market entry, how you land perfect market exit, and how you ride parabolic moves without selling too early. So use the link below, sign up as soon as possible, click it fast, and be prepared for this insane bull market. Now, another important thing to understand is that the reason why it's possible to still do this journey in crypto is because this industry is very, very young, okay? It's underdeveloped. It is unsophisticated still in terms of the adoption. We're very early on. We're very immature as an industry, and that's exactly when you want to participate. You don't want to wait when an industry is already global, adopted, mature, and already big in the world. You want to invest in small industries that will become big, because when an industry is big already, it's too late. It's too late. There's no opportunity. So let's go into the meat of this episode and talk about the different ways. One way is, of course, buying Bitcoin. Many people tell you just buy Bitcoin, just hodl, you will make a lot of money. And while it is true, if you look at the performance of 2020, we've had a gain of 800% or 900%.
We had a little run. We've had a little run. But we're deciding to come back down again. If we keep running down and break through this line on, I will be unsure of even the current up I'm expecting. This is the 1 minute, by the way. This is our fall since early this morning. So this is what, 24 hours ago. This is our 1 minute trend line. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe we can't get there. That's rough. That is rough. That's why you can't watch the 1 minute, guys. This is why you should not watch the 1 minute. The 1 minute is so gross. Okay, so gross.
almost from the low here in March to the peak. If you measure from the early 2020, from January the first basically until the peak, you do see that it's almost 450%. So while these are amazing gains, of course it is very amazing gains, from especially from bottom to peak,
Harold,
we also
if
have
you
to be
mean
honest that this
today,
is not
or
really
you mean
life-changing
before we
for the
recover
average
and
Joe.
start
Of course,
rolling
if you are
again
already
and
wealthy, you
try to
have
go for new all-time
200k
highs.
to invest,
I think
you
a real
have
hard ball is
300k
here.
to invest, then yes, this can make you millions for sure. Because you invest 200k, we do a 7x, 6x, you make a nice million for sure. But for the average Joe to just buy Bitcoin and invest in Bitcoin, yes, maybe over time, maybe in 10 years, if you invest 10k, Bitcoin will do 100x and you will reach a million. But look, for Bitcoin to do 100x from here, it means that Bitcoin will go to 3 million. So you kind of have to calm down. You have to come back to earth. You need to ask yourself, when do you really think that Bitcoin will do a 3 million price tag? Maybe in 10 years, who knows, but definitely not until next year. It's not gonna go to 3 million. All right, Bitcoin has a potential from here to the peak of this bull cycle, maybe 10x, maybe we're gonna go to 300, okay, 300,000. But one thing we need to conclude is that for the average Joe, just trading Bitcoin, buying Bitcoin and hodling Bitcoin is not a good idea to achieve financial independence and to reach millions. Now, the second option is of course to magnify and to make the moves bigger. So here you can trade leverage. This is of course way riskier, but when you have a 10% move and you can use Bybit for example, and you can have 10x leverage, that 10% move actually is 100x for you because you trade with leverage. Now, this is more risky, of course, because if the price goes against you, you lose more. But this is a way more realistic way for people to do a 100x journey. And really, when we're speaking about making millions, when we're speaking about achieving financial independence, we have to be speaking at least a 100x journey. Now, you have to be aware of the risks here, because of course, when you invest with leverage, you could also lose. You could lose everything because you could get liquidated. So the risk is higher, the reward is higher. And as you see, there is always a risk-reward
we
ratio
had
in
a nice
everything.
little
If you want to trade on Bybit, you can trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, EOS, XRP. You can also trade Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and you can trade Tezos and Link with leverage. You can go long or short, so you can make money when the market goes up or down. Using the link below, you also get a big fat juicy bonus, but be careful if you're completely new to trading.
I don't know how far up it goes. This is
more
what I'm
risky,
hopeful for
100%.
1300.
And if you actually want to learn how to trade, you want to crush this
1260
market,
is
you
reasonable.
use the link below, you sign up for the completely free training, completely free webinar already next week. Use the link below. Now, the third way, so the first way is Bitcoin Spot, the second way is Bitcoin Leverage. I told you Bitcoin Spot, you're not gonna make millions there. Bitcoin Leverage could potentially work, but it's very risky. The third way is altcoins. Now, altcoins can really be divided in all kinds of different categories, but we have, of course, small caps, like for example, Polka Starter. This one we already did almost, guys. We did almost 100x here already. If you just measure the price here from November until right now, until January peak, it is 1700%, but then you also have to consider that the private sale price was way lower. So yes, this is only 1700 from November, but when you measure from private sale, it is already 100x. This is way more realistic for most people. To invest in altcoins, to invest in private sales. This is key. How do you invest in private sales? You need to be active in the community. You need to be active on Telegram. You need to be active in different altcoin projects. You have to start building a name for yourself. Because of course, these private sales, they get filled up very quickly. So Bitcoin spot trading is not for the average Joe to make millions, because the average Joe, to make millions truly from scratch, you have to take big risk. It's 100% certainty that you have to take big risk. Nobody will give you $1 million without taking any risk. So that's something you have to consider. Okay, you will be taking high risk if you want to make this journey. But the second thing you have to consider is that, okay, what are the social contacts I need to have that will allow me to invest in early private sale? And here is where you need to be starting building your name for yourself. One way to do that is just think about your favorite coins that you absolutely love, go into their Telegram group right now, start helping people for free, start helping the community grow. then you get connection to the team, get connection to the admins, because if you truly bring value to their community, they will want to have a connection with you. And that is how you grow your network. Maybe they can introduce to other founders. Maybe then you can ask around, is there any sales going on? How should we do it? How can I participate? How can I help? And so you need to be early on, guys. Another way to participate early on is, for example, by holding Polka Starter tokens. So this is why, by the way, the price has gone up so much, because the use case is clear. Polka Starter itself is a launch pad for new projects. So we did, for example, have all kinds of projects launch already. Yop did amazingly well, Mahadao did amazingly well. Soon you're gonna have Bridge Mutual, you're gonna have paid network launch as well on Polka Starter. And here you can participate in early sales without having to have any connections. Here is just that you have the tokens and you can get a chance. The same goes for TrustSwap. TrustSwap also has a launchpad, as you know, and if you participate in TrustSwap launchpad, you can get access to early sales. And this is a trend that will continue maybe for 6 more months, guys. This is not gonna continue forever. The fact that we do have these ICOs, not really ICOs, it's called IDO because it is initial DEX offering, but this is gonna continue for quite some time, not forever. And you have to act right now. And right now, if you participate in these sales, you will quickly see that many of them do 5x, 10x very, very quickly. And many people get blinded by the fact. And if you just look at the performance of, for example, Polka Starter, I mean, look at all of these projects, Mahadao, Yop, they've all done insane returns from the private sale. And you look at the market right now, it's so easy to think that this is gonna continue forever. To think that all of these gains will just keep coming. And while they are very good right now, another one is Exceed.me that did insanely well. Mahadao did insanely well. SpiderDAO I think also did insanely well. But you have to understand that this success we've had with new altcoins launching will not be here forever. It's very easy to get blinded by the success of these IDOs, initial DEX offerings, because they explode very quickly and you make a lot of money very fast. It's not gonna be like that forever, guys. Right now, it's possible. Right now it's possible with the sales, but not in 2022, most probably not. But 2021 still, yes, it's big risk and big reward if you play it correctly. So that's maybe the most reasonable way for the average Joe to make a killing in crypto. Other ways is to start a business. This is very, very underestimated way. Many people don't think about it, but starting a business in crypto can really be your path to millions. Maybe you see some kind of use case, maybe you see some kind of trading use case, maybe some kind of utility, maybe something else that people need in crypto. But imagine starting a business in the 90s where you did something with the internet, some kind of internet business in the 90s. You would be quite well off today, no matter what you did. You know why? Because even if your business fails, imagine you went full-time and you tried to build something in the 90s. You would have so much knowledge, man. You would have so much experience. You probably, even if your business failed, you probably would have a nice position at Google, at Amazon, at Facebook, because you would be an industry veteran. So when I tell you, go try start a business, don't think that you have to build a big business. You can aim for that, but even if you don't build a big, magnificent business, maybe it gets bought up by Coinbase, maybe it gets bought up by Kraken. It doesn't have to be super big. And then you get some nice position there. Please understand that whatever you do, it will pay off massively, because there's no doubt that crypto is gonna be huge. There's no doubt that we're gonna take over the world. There's no doubt that Bitcoin will be a global reserve asset. In my mind, there is no doubt. So whatever you do, whatever I do, I don't really care whether it's an instant success or not, because the only thing that matters is that we do something, okay? That we do something. Because I think back to the 90s, to the late 80s, whatever you did in tech during that time, you're probably well off today, all right? On that note, guys, I leave you. And to summarize, Bitcoin spot, not gonna make you millions. Bitcoin leverage can make you millions, can also wreck you quite heavily. Altcoin investing can absolutely make you millions. Can absolutely do that. I would say that it's a bit less risky than leverage because you can never lose 100%. You can never get liquidated, all right? And altcoin can fall a lot, but it can never, you know, go to 000 instantly, like your leverage position could. So it's all risky, of course. This is a high risk industry, you should know that. Let me know in the comment section whether you have more ways, better ways to make $1 million in crypto. And please ensure that you smash that like for the YouTube algorithm. I want the YouTube algorithm to be amazed. When he or she sees all of these likes, all of these smashing likes that you give me, I want them to be absolutely mind blown, the algorithm, okay? So please do that. Help us, but also help yourself. The bigger we get, the bigger crypto gets. Smash it, guys.
Okay, listen, because I'm about to change your life with my computer on how you can make money online the new way. They think that what I'm about to share with you is too good to be true, but here's the thing, it's not. I literally made over $8,000 in a market crash. This is the thing that I'm teaching people how to do, how to profit in crashes. People assume that if something...
How to profit in crashes. You need to see this.
It does line up with new resistance that we might end up finding, and the next thing to do from here is, you know, one popular way to measure how low we might end up dumping is actually by measuring the length of this pattern and then extending it downwards. So let's go ahead and do that. Let me just make sure I've drawn this properly by pressing the shift button on my keyboard and then drawing the line down. That makes the line straight, and I'm just going to extend this from the bottom of our descending triangle, and that puts us squarely at $18,000. So this is quite a low target for Bitcoin. Honestly, I don't think we're going to go that low. If we do, I can't think of anything that would excite me more. Not even the Russians here in Dubai would excite me more than that. We do have a situation here where if Bitcoin ends up falling down to $18,000, I would cream my pants on demand. That was a terrible click, because that would be the best buy of my life, to buy Bitcoin down there. And, you know, realistically, I don't think it's going to happen, but it's interesting to talk about this because that is where one of our key Fibonacci levels line up. So let me show this to you on a different chart where
Fibonacci.
These
Let's
lines.
watch this.
I just want to place a horizontal line at that $18,000 level, and I want to show you what this lines up with, because if I draw a Fibonacci retracement starting from the bottom all the way up to the top of this trend, bam, right there. I mean, it couldn't be better than this. That 0.618 Fibonacci level lines up perfectly with the $18,000 level, and that is the target for our current descending triangle. So look, I'm not saying we're going to dump that low. Obviously, I think every single one of us would want us to, by the way. I mean, I'm reading your comments, and you know, I'm definitely sure that a lot of you guys are going to be excited, just like I would be if Bitcoin ended up dumping that low, because it would be a massive opportunity to buy, and it would be very, very exciting, and it lines up with a key Fibonacci level. So Fibonacci retracements are obviously extremely important in my opinion. They're one of my favorite tools to use in technical analysis, and it lines up really, really well, where this is our Fibonacci retracement of the entire trend from the bottom all the way up to the top. And crucially, we've already respected key levels along this Fibonacci retracement, right? If I you know, kind of, I can't even fit this on the chart. Let's use the 8-hour time frame. If I kind of zoom out a little bit and show this to you, let's just break down every single Fibonacci level here and see if we've had key market reversals and things like that at these levels. And let's just start from the bottom. 0.786. This is not a very important level, but how did we respond to it? We found a little bit of resistance. We even found a little bit of support back in 2019. We had a big consolidation point right around here as well, and we consolidated here before we went parabolic. So there's a lot of very, very important things happening around this level. The 0.618 level, what happens here? Admittedly, not much, but we do end up consolidating right on this level and finding a big area of support here, which again triggers the continuation of our exponential parabolic rally with our current market trend, right? So the 618 level also has importance in this market. The 0.5 level, this is exactly where we consolidated at the $22,500 level, lines up very, very well. It couldn't be better. The 382 level, $27,300, this is very close to where we consolidated and where we dropped down for support. And so the 382 level also showing us a lot of confluence, and the 236 level, this is probably the weakest one, but we do still have some confluence over here with some support being found. And if we zoom in even further, we are also getting a little bit of resistance. So we can see some resistance hits over here. We previously set an all-time high, and this all, in my opinion, paints a picture for Bitcoin to show us that it has respected this Fibonacci retracement very well. And as we already know, if you know a little bit about the Fibonacci retracement, we do have a situation here where the 0.618 retracement is usually the strongest retracement level. This is usually where the price will fall down to within a bullish trend, just to really erase the fear, erase the, how do I say, cleanse out the fearful people in the market and let us continue higher with more pure blood. And there's a lot of examples of that. I'm just going to show you some really quickly in 2017. Once again, there are a lot of parallels with 2017's trend, in my opinion, and I don't even know which ones to show you because I tend to do this incorrectly, but I'm just going to wing it and see if I do it correctly. Let's just see what happens. But I think here is a good example. Let's just draw this from the low to the high, and right over here we end up falling down to the 0.618 level. Look, it's absolutely beautiful. We fall down to the 0.618 level and then we continue up. Let's see what happens at the next point. I think the next one we can draw something a little bit like this. We fall down to the 0.5 level, so we do have some confluence here, not in the way I expected, but still definitely lines up. If we draw this Fibonacci from this low, which is where the parabola really started, or I should say restarted, we did fall down to the 618 retracement on this Fibonacci as well. There are many more examples. I'll just show you one or two more. Again, just to prove this point, and really the thing I want to do is kind of blow your mind and show you how consistent this is. I think this is another one to show you right here, if I'm not mistaken. We end up falling down to the 618 level and consolidating here. We actually dropped a little bit lower than that here, but this is where we consolidated and then carrying on trading upwards. There are a lot of examples of this, and you can see constantly that these Fibonacci's, they do end up being respected very well depending on how you draw them. And I think that's a very important thing to keep in mind, because in exponential bullish rallies, Bitcoin tends to make very good use of these kind of tools, and right now I think we have the potential to do that. So look, I don't think there's a high possibility of us falling that low, but my god, if we do, I think that would be absolutely beautiful. Shout out to Angelina for tuning into this live stream. I see all of you guys in here as well, so if you can shoot all those likes and subscribe if we haven't already, that would be absolutely great. We're on an absolute roll right here. And a little bit more that I want to go on for with Bitcoin until I switch over to Ethereum. And you know, I think the big thing for me right now is that even though we are seeing these quite bearish signs in this market, I do think we are going to drop lower, but I don't think that the uptrend is over yet. I think that we still have a long way to go with this trend, with Bitcoin potentially finding a little bit of resistance along the way down and dumping a little bit lower to some of these key levels, but then restarting that uptrend. So let's talk about that for a little bit, because we have some really good support levels below us. We have some very interesting areas, and I think that each of them are almost equally likely for Bitcoin. Honestly, I think dropping down to this final level is least likely because it's just too good to be true, but you know, if we get it, we get it, and I will love that. I won't question it. Right now, you know, what we have is this was a previous area which was an all-time high for Bitcoin. We came down very quickly to test this as support and then bounced right back up, and I think that could make it very important for Bitcoin. That's the $27,600 level, and I think that makes it a very important level for this market. So this is definitely something that I'm interested in keeping an eye out on for this market, and we do also have it lining up with some other signs of support. I'm not sure which time frames they're on, but let's take a look at the Ichimoku. Yeah, right there, the one-day Ichimoku lining up really well with this $27,000 area. And granted, this would take us into the beginning days of February. This is about 2 weeks down the line right now, but I think that if we do end up finding some support here, this Ichimoku cloud could end up acting as a bit of a trampoline, sending us up. I got a question asking me to explain what the Ichimoku cloud does, but this is an indicator I use quite a lot in my videos, so I would recommend you actually just pause this live stream right now and watch this video I made on the Ichimoku cloud. Just type this into YouTube exactly like I typed it, and go ahead and watch my video on the Ichimoku cloud. This is part of my wider Full Flies Academy courses, which are paid, but I've made these videos free for you guys, so please do use them. They're really good. It's the best course ever, and this is free for you, so please use it. And I explain fully what the Ichimoku cloud is, but broadly speaking, if it's green, it's signs that I've already drawn. I also think that the $24,000 level would make a lot of sense for Bitcoin, which is this second green line, because this is where we actually had a pretty sizable consolidation, and that means we were able to establish price history. We were able to establish some price history around these levels, potentially giving Bitcoin the chance to find support here in the past. Because if you guys remember, the reason I said that I don't think this level is going to hold at $30,000, it's because we didn't establish much resistance on the way up, and we've already tested it many times as support. And so, you know, it was already a weak level to begin with, in my opinion, and we've already tested it quite a few times, right? And so this is to say that the camel is already weak. The camel was born weak, and we're putting more and more and more straws on top of it. And so it's going to collapse, and it's going to collapse quickly, in my opinion, just with my analysis. And that might mean that we are going to trade significantly lower down to some of these key levels. But this $24,000 level, this camel was built like a G. This camel was built like a gangster, because it was suffering all the way from the beginning and just getting rejected continuously for 8 days straight, which definitely hardened up this camel's back. So we can place more and more and more and more and more and more and more straws on it, and because it was hardened in its childhood, in its
Okay. Whew. I got to focus, people. I got to focus. I got to focus. I got to get to work, and I need all of my screens to do it, and my docking station. Looks like I gotta take a little break. I will be back on later, but I have to get going here. I gotta work. I can't do it on my laptop on the side. I need all my screens. You guys hear me? Appreciate it. I love anybody who subs. Let's hang out again. This is exciting and fun stuff to do. I love the conversations and watching these videos with everybody and getting everybody's thoughts on them. So give me a thumbs up and a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you soon.